evening, everyone, and welcome out to Speed Racing Network, where we are in week 3 of our playoff round of 15. So it is cutoff week. My name is Sean Griffith. I am here with the world champion, obviously. I mean, he's one of the best drivers in the Cup Series, Jake Roell. Jake, how's it going tonight, brother?
Man, doing well, Sean. It's glad to have you back up here in the booth. It's been some time, man. So I'm looking forward to this race here at Dover International Speedway, as well as broadcasting this race with you, buddy. It's going to be a fun night, I think.
Man, I think this is going to be a great race, and what better place to come to than the Monster Mile, where the Monster is going to reach out and grab some of these drivers and could end their playoff chances.
Absolutely. I mean, this track alone, you take the final race of the first round of the playoffs, you slap that on this place, it's going to be drama filled the entire night here at Dover. It's going to lead into a great race, I believe, and we're going to have to keep our eye on every single driver that hasn't gotten themselves into the play or locked themselves into round 2 of the playoffs. So because like you said, this track just reaches out and grabs you, and next thing you know, one car spins and we could see a 10-car pileup.
Yeah, we can, and nobody's really safe tonight. I think there's one driver out there that has already advanced into the next round. That's Cole Martin. We'll talk about him in just a second, but other than that, no one is safe here. And so this is going to be one interesting race, and we got 125 laps and 2 fast repairs to get it done.
Yeah, this is it can fly by, but if we see a lot of yellows, it can really drag it out. The nice thing for these drivers is that 2 fast repairs, especially here, those can be used really, really quick. And you really got to be aware of that if you get involved into accidents early, because obviously it is a long race in itself at 125 laps. So it's just a little bit of strategy you have to play with yourself. You kind of almost have to give up time if you have to use them quick, so you don't burn yourself in the long run.
That's right. Now, here in the truck series, we do get 2 fast repairs. They are fixed setups, so everybody's on the same type of truck. No problems there. Everybody pays $5 a week to get in. We do have weekly and season payouts, but the big number that everybody's shooting for that is still in the playoffs is that $300 first place prize.
Oh, it really is. And honestly, you see the bottom there on that list. That's a team championship. There's 5 drivers on a team. They can win $100 collectively, and then they split it. $20 each, or if they only have 4, obviously it's $25. That's just a really fun thing that we've got here in Speed Racing Network, Sean. And obviously driving for a team, it just adds another thing to it, right? You've got your team championship to go run for, as well as obviously these drivers, in their own right, individually going for that, just the drivers championship. So it just kind of adds a little spice to the race, and just makes it a little bit more interesting all season long.
Well, speaking of interesting, we've got Matching Wits with Gerwitz coming up with Aaron Gerwitz. He is going to be sitting down tonight with Corey Saucier. So let's take a look and see what's going on through Corey Saucier's mind.
There we go. So we are back, everybody, with week number 3, and it is the final cutoff race for the round of 10. We have the number 3 Chevy Silverado of Corey Saucier. Corey, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself, Aaron?
It's been a long, hectic day, but we're making it through. Well, I see you are in 4th place in the overall points, but you find yourself right on that cut line as these playoffs of the round 1 are winding down. How did that happen?
So, definitely been struggling the last couple races. Talladega made the unfortunate mistake of not realizing to have fast repairs checked off before you hit the tow button. So unfortunately, motor blew up and had 33 minutes of required, and that was pretty much all that race wrote. And then at Kansas, same thing. We had a really good truck. Was up front leading towards the end there on the last long green flag run, and caution came out and just kind of got shuffled back, and same thing, last lap accident, just nothing we could avoid, and ends up putting us way back in the pack. So really hoping that we can get a good clean finish here at Dover.
Yes, and we got Dover, the track that is it's not the world's fastest half mile, but it is a pretty fast mile. Have you done a practice prior to tonight?
Yeah, so been practicing pretty pretty much all weekend and Monday, Tuesday, putting in a lot of hours. I think the main goal for me is really just to have a good, clean finish. It's really tightly bunched for points between all of us. I think pretty much from about 7th place all the way, even a couple below me, below the cut line. So I think I just want, good, consistent finish, try to avoid the wrecks, even if it means I got to give up a spot or two. Don't put myself in bad spots, and just come away with a good finish.
It seems like a good strategy. You had plenty of top 5s and top 10s this year, with 7 of them in the top 10 and 6 of them in the top 5, and you got 3 wins. So there's no doubt you'll be at the front of the pack tonight. But thank you, Corey.
Thanks, Aaron.
All right, and there you have it. Corey Saucier and Aaron Gerwitz chatting it up a little bit. And Corey, one of those drivers that really should be at the front every single week, and it's just the last two races have been off races for him, and this is the worst time in the world to do that, Jake.
Oh, you got it right. He's kind of gotten bitten by that bug. That bad luck has just kind of really come at the wrong time for Corey Saucier. We saw him early on in the year he rolled off 3 wins in a row, just super consistent week in and week out. And, it's almost like a flick of the switch for him with this bad luck to start off the playoffs. But, I kind of think we're going to a track where I think Corey can really excel and, turn that thing around trying to get into that next round.
Yeah, now let's talk about the money involved here. So we do have race payouts. We also have season-long payouts. So race payouts, you're looking at $25 for first place, $15 for second, $10 for third. We're not talking about life-changing money here. The big money is at the end of the season.
And, that's the thing is obviously there's, bigger pool of prizes at the end of the year. But to be able to come into it each and every week, if you win this thing, it was $5 to get in, you get $25. And, I look down to 5th through 7th, you're able to get your money back. I think that's an awesome thing that SRN has. A lot of leagues only pay out maybe weekly 1st through 3rd, but the fact that you could finish 7th, right, Sean, and you walk away with your money, kind of roll it towards next week. I mean, that's just awesome.
Absolutely. Now, take a look at the season-long payouts here. And you've got $300 for first place. That's the beautiful number. But also, I mean, even if you just come in top 5, you make the finals of these playoffs, and you're going to get some money out of it.
Oh, if you come home 5th place, like you were just, kind of getting to, you get half of all your season, your weekly payouts back. Obviously, that's huge. So, and you got to factor in, these guys that are going to be the final 5 have probably been running up front all season long. So they've been making money each and every week. But then this is where, we kind of look like the emoji with the money signs as the eyes when we see this, because $300 to the winner. And also that team championship, that's an extra $20 to $25 you can put in your pocket. So, this is a little bit more money than, you'd think you see for a truck series.
Oh, yeah. I mean, take that money any way you can possibly get it. But not only money, but we also have prizes for the cleanest driver brought to you by Butt Kicker. Feel what you've been missing out there. This Butt Kicker will attach to your seat, and it'll make you feel like you're actually in the car.
Oh, it really will. And I think the coolest thing with these is, you don't actually have to have an actual, sim rig seat. You could literally use an office chair and put it onto that, and it works just as well on that. And, like you were saying, Sean, it just replicates any other or any feeling, any bumps or anything like that you'd feel inside these cars. And if you don't win one of these in any of our 3 series and you want to go out and get your own, we do have a discount code with Butt Kicker. It's SRNVS20 to save 20% off your order. So make sure if you're going to Butt Kicker to buy anything, make sure you use our code.
Yeah, and take a look right now. We've got some of these drivers out there that, man, they've been clean, they've been fast, and Rev Racing is the top team out there right now in the team standings, brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia. Find them on Shopify. There are all sorts of great memorabilia out there on that website for you to buy, all sorts of die-cast models, that sort of thing. But, they're presenting this team championship in Rev Racing way out front.
Oh, yeah, you see Rev Racing. They got the 4 wins, Sean. They're 195 points up on 2nd place. Jonathan Beyer Racing, who doesn't even have a win, but yet it's just that consistency thing. We take the best 4 drivers of their team each and every week. That's kind of how we do the math here for the team championship standings. So that team is, they don't have a win yet, Sean, but they have been just rolling off top 10s, top 5s with all their drivers. And you see 3rd, we got R&D Motorsports. They've had 3 wins. 4th place, Striker Motorsports, another team with no wins. But yet they're right ahead of Bronco Motorsports, who has 7 wins on the year as a team. but yet, there's just not been consistency from the whole team to be able to really have them elevated up towards, JBR or even Rev Racing. And then obviously 6 is Tanked Racing, 7th Team SRN, and then obviously in 8th place is H2K Motorsports.
And that's why we kind of do these team standings also, is these team championships, because it's not just about the individual driver. And I mean, it's great to be the best driver out there, but we wanted to see which team overall was the most consistent. And Rev Racing with I'm going to say only 4 wins, but forget about Rev Racing for a second. Look at Jonathan Beyer Racing in 2nd place with no wins at all.
Right, and that's the thing. We still have 4 more races to go after this, and there's still a possibility for them to, they don't even need to get wins. They could still catch them. If they start really running really consistent, even better than what they've been doing, there's still a window for them to get up there and, put the pressure on Rev Racing. And, that's the thing, Rev could just be kind of late, relax, not really focusing on that with some of their drivers in the individual playoffs. So, JBR, they still have a shot. I think it's too soon to call it for them.
Oh, I 100% agree. They've got a shot, and so do these other guys in the Flavor Bomb second tier playoffs. So, every single league has drivers that come in late in the season, and they don't have anything to drive for at the end of the season. So we decided to put together and get with Flavor Bomb and put together this second tier playoffs, where these guys that either didn't make the playoffs at all, just because bad season, or people that came in a little bit later in the season, still have a shot to win some money. You can see Vincent Cortez from Tank Racing. He's been with us all season long, and now all of a sudden he is just really on fire here in the playoffs.
Right, you got to love Flavor Bomb coming on board and doing this for our second tier playoffs. Obviously, these drivers, like you said, in the right, they unfortunate things didn't happen if they ran out the whole regular season, or like you said, coming in late. Now they've got something to go out here and race with, as well as obviously the top 15 in the playoffs. So the fact that we have 2 playoffs in one league in the same series for all 3 of our series, where else do you see that? It's just awesome stuff we have here, and that's just the kind of support we get from our sponsors to be able to put on things like this for our league.
Definitely. Now let's talk about what everybody's wanting to talk about here, and that is our playoff standings. And so Cole Martin out front, and he's got a big lead, and like we said, he is basically already made his way in. So he had to finish 34th or better, and there was not 34 drivers out in the field tonight. So he is in the playoffs, but everyone else has to work their way in tonight.
Oh yeah, it's you look at Jonathan Beyer, Jose Castellanos, Nathan Nixon. These are the guys that they need to have lights out performances tonight for themselves, but they're also going to need that help from the bad luck, the help from the other guys ahead of them. You never wish that upon them, but that is just how it's going to have to be here for these 3, because it's just that tight. When you get above the cut line, it's there's not much room for shifting in these standings.
Yeah, and let's talk about each one of these guys briefly, and we'll start off with Cole Martin. Now, here's the amazing thing about Cole. So my good co-broadcaster, that's sitting right next to me here, Jake Roell, it has taken him 2 seasons to acquire 7 wins, and he is the all-time leader in wins in Speed Racing Network history. Cole Martin has raced 15 races with us, and he has 5 wins. Jake, are you feeling the pressure?
Pressure... No, if I was in the trucks, I think I'd be able to amp that up. But, hey, in Cole's right mind, the fact that he's come out here with these guys, with, the likes of all these drivers he's racing with in the playoffs, the fact that he's got 5 wins so far, it just speaks volumes to the type of driver Cole is, and just, how dominant he has been all season long. And it's, at the start of the year, Cole was really, really quiet, just kind of keeping his own, running really well, and all of a sudden, man, it was like the spark lit, and he just came out of nowhere with all these wins, and it's been great to watch up here in the booth, honestly.
Man, and that is the same exact thing with our next driver, Josh Mueller. So Josh, just came into the season and got down to the playoff time, and it really wasn't. He wasn't really turning too many heads, but now that he's in the playoffs, he is all over the place. And actually, he's out there on the track right now, getting his lap in for qualifying. So, you just never know with Josh Mueller. He doesn't have a win yet in the series, but tonight could be the night for him.
Yeah, and this is kind of like in the NHL, MLB, NBA, NFL. This is like watching a 7 or 8 seed, make a run deep into the playoffs, because It all resets and anything's possible. So Josh Mueller, all he needs to do is finish 21st or better tonight, Sean, and he moves on to the round of 10. That's just kind of how the playoffs work. You might not have the best regular season, but if you get yourself into it, you are able to advance, keep moving on, and at that point, it's just a battle of the points and making sure you've got more than the guy behind you.
Definitely. Now, next up, Bobby Anderson. And again, this is one of those drivers that's just been consistent all year long. His best finish is only 5th, but he's up here tied for 2nd in the playoff standings. So this guy is about to make a really, really deep run.
Yeah, and the fact that if you guys remember at Richmond, Bobby Anderson stayed out under a yellow flag to lead a lap, which gave him that 1 bonus point, which ended up getting him into the playoffs, and now he is sitting in 3rd place currently in the first round of the playoffs. It just kind of speaks volumes to the mental game Bobby brings. It's just the fact that he's able to think of something like that to make sure he gets enough points week in and week out. It's going to make it tough for this 18 to get knocked out of the playoffs. Bobby as well, all he needs to do is finish 21st or better here tonight, Sean, and he's moving on to the round of 10.
Yeah, Byron McDonald, a big win in week 1 of the playoffs here, and that has really, really helped him out. And so he is up here, and all he has to do is finish 19th or better tonight, and he is automatically into the next round. So Byron, our good co-broadcaster from Sunday nights, love seeing him up there in that position.
Yeah, and obviously that win was huge for him. He's been knocking on the door all season long for that first victory here in the Truck Series, and he was able to pull it off. So, great things to see from Byron.
Next up, you got Michael Madden. Now, Michael's got a bunch of wins on the season already, 2 wins actually, but he's got the best fans out there, and so we love seeing them every single week. Now, Michael, all he has to do is 17th or better, and I know that his fans are going to be rooting him on tonight.
Yeah, and another driver that's just been really turning it on lately is going to be Brandon Domain. He needs to finish 15th or better. Doesn't have a win yet on the year, but you see he's finished 3rd twice. That's going to be his best finish. That's all Brandon needs to do here. You don't need to go get the checkered flag. Obviously, that's nice. But you keep having these strong runs, finishing top 10, you're going to make your way into that second round.
Well, one guy that would love a 3rd checkered flag is Andrew Harris, and so he's got 2 of them on the season already, but a 3rd checkered flag tonight means that he is into the next round. Really, he only needs a 9th place finish or better, but man, he would love to see those checkers tonight.
Yeah, and now we see here the 92 truck, Robert Yost. He's got to finish 4th or better tonight. His best finish on the year has been 9th, so needs a little bit of an improvement, but you never know at a track like Dover International Speedway. That can find yourself right there in the top 5 just with guys getting taken out, things like that.
Next up, we got who I call Captain Consistency, and Matt Johnson is one of those guys that you don't see or hear anything from him at all during the entire race, and then you look up at the end and he's in a top 5 position. So don't be too surprised if you don't see him up front early, but you'll see him there late.
Yeah, it's just out of nowhere almost all of a sudden, Matt Johnson's up front, and one of our drivers that's next is going to be Corey Saucier here, the 3 truck for Team SR R&D Motorsports. My bad. He's got 3 wins on the year, like we said. Though he's really had some bad luck to start off the year at Talladega and Kansas. So Corey's just got to kind of shake that off and just start looking ahead and get himself into this next round, because I think Corey's going to be a championship contender.
Yeah, and Corey's tied with Jack Johnson here on the cut line. And so both of these guys technically need a win to solidify their spot in there. They don't absolutely need that if some other stuff happens, but they could definitely use it. Now, Jack's best finish is 6th twice this season. He's going to need to stay in that area tonight to have a shot.
Yeah, he definitely is. Right on that cut line, you can't let the guys behind you, try to beat you. And that's going to be this first one here with the 91 truck, Kyle Wimble. His best finish has been 2nd. So Kyle's got the speed. He's just got to, avoid the accidents, not make any mistakes on his own. And Kyle could get himself into this playoff, or into the second round, sorry.
Yeah, now, Jonathan Beyer, he's got a lot more work to do here. He is 16 points outside the cut line, which means that he is not only going to have an incredible showing tonight, but he is also going to he's going to need a lot of help tonight as well. So be on the lookout for him to put his best foot forward here tonight.
Yeah, and another driver here is going to be Jose Castellanos. Again, going to need a really, really strong run in his own right. But then, you're going to have misfortunes for any of these other, playoff drivers that are just above that cut line to get yourself in. I think he can, get himself to that final 5 if he does, advance here after tonight.
And finally, we got Nathan Nixon down here on the bottom of the list, but he's not on the bottom of the list because he's not a good driver. He's on the bottom of the list because he missed race 1. So he wasn't able to make it to race 1 of the playoffs. So that has really put him behind the 8 ball. And unless he wins tonight and gets some help, he is going to be out of this playoffs.
And Sean, I look right now through the list of our drivers. I actually don't see the 33 truck here tonight either. So unless Nathan joins here really quick, I don't think he will be moving on, unfortunately. But here we go, Sean. Qualifying's wrapped up for the Monster 125 at Dover International Speedway. Our pole sitter is going to be that 3 truck of Corey Saucier from R&D Motorsports. Second place is going to be Cole Martin from Bronco. Third place, Brandon Domain in that 20 truck from Stryker Motorsports. Cole's teammate Andrew Harris from Bronco Motorsports is going to be rolling off 4th place. And in P5 from Rev Racing, that 15 truck, Michael Madden.
Man, you can see a lot of green numbers up there. Those are the guys that are in the playoffs, and they've encompassed the top 6. Byron McDonald, our old broadcast partner, is up there in 6th for Rev Racing. Brad Yonkman for Team SRN in 7th. Jonathan Beyer from Jonathan Beyer Racing, he's starting the race off right. He needs a good finish here tonight. He's up in 8th. Michael York from Bronco Motorsports in 9th. Bobby Anderson from R&D Motorsports basically in if he just has a halfway decent finish, so he's up there in 10th. Jose Castellanos there in 11th for Stryker Motorsports, and finally Sean Kozier from Rev Racing rounding out the top 12.
Yeah, and those 2 drivers, Jonathan Beyer in the 66, Jose Castellanos in the 4. One of the last guys we ran through the screens, showing you the playoff drivers. Those are the guys that need to have really, really strong runs for themselves, and then have things happen to guys, that are in the playoffs as well. Just kind of have bad nights to get them in the show for the second round of our playoffs here at SRN's Truck Series. So, they're starting this race off right, Sean, and we're going to see the pace car here leave pit lane shortly. Going to give you first dibs. Who's going to be your pick tonight, Sean?
Oh, man, I knew you would give me first pick. Everybody in this top 6 is absolutely amazing, but, I think the guy that needs it the most, and it has been one of the most consistent drivers all season long, is Corey Saucier. I think that he's the one that gets it done tonight and makes it into the next round.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick, Sean. Obviously, rolling off P1 on the pole, going to have the best pit stop or pit selection. It's going to make easy getting off pit lane if we get green flag pit stops or even under yellow. Tonight, Sean, I'm going to look at that 5th place driver starting off, rolling off P5, Michael Madden in that 15 truck. It's kind of been a while since we've seen him win, and I think he kind of wants to stamp his mark moving on into the round of 10. Saying, hey, it's been a little while, that's all right, but I'm back.
Oh, yeah, he hasn't really gone anywhere. I think everybody knows that he's there. It's just hasn't quite had that finish yet in the last half of the season here. So beware, though. Those are 2 really great picks, but we still have another, 12 drivers in the playoffs that still have a shot to get in. So, man, let's get this thing going.
Yeah, I'm ready to see how this is going to go. I believe we should see I think the pace car pulls off right here. It's going to be kind of quick. Yeah, sure it does. And it's going to be in the hands of Corey Saucier in that 3 truck. Going to see him kind of creep towards the restart zone. And then all of a sudden you're going to see him start going here whenever he chooses to go. We're going to see him still creeping. Interesting strategies. Corey Saucier, though, going to bring him to the green flag here, Sean. And these 2 guys are going to go into turn 1 side by side. Not sure how this is going to plan out when they get out of turn 2.
Man, Cole Martin did not let him get any distance at all there, and so he is going to be right there on his side. Oh, we're going to see what's going to happen here in turns 3 and 4.
And it's going to be tight down the backstretch, but they kind of give one another some more space turns 3 and 4, and this is where it gets really, really tight off the corner exit. You see Cole Martin almost slapped the wall out of 4. Corey kind of almost got a little loose coming out of the corner. That's just, this track is almost like a roller coaster, Sean. Into the corners, you kind of dip out or dip down into them, and then when you come out of the corners, you kind of come up like a roller coaster does, and you get that sensation of you're like floating. It just makes it an awkward feeling, especially in these trucks where it's very, very throttle dependent to make a quick lap time.
Yeah, and man, they are still making incredible lap times up at the front. It's kind of a spaced out back there to 3rd, and then you got a whole gaggle of cars right behind them. Let's go back to that gaggle right now as you got Jonathan Beyer there on the inside, Byron McDonald on the outside. Byron kind of drops back a little bit.
Yeah, Byron's kind of stuck on that outside. I think we see Michael York, I believe that's the 81 truck. Good save there down the front stretch. But like I was saying, Byron McDonald, he's not up there on the high side right now. but you don't want to be stuck up there for too long because it's just a freight train of guys. On the inside, they're gonna be able to pass you so much easier here at Dover International Speedway. And we see our leaders here, Cole Martin and Corey Saucier, really pull out to almost a second lead. Looks like that 87 truck there hit the wall, Andrew Harris. So it's just this track, like you said, Sean, to open the show, it will reach out and bite you. And next thing you know, you're hitting the wall once, and then a few laps go by and you've hit it another 5 times.
This is such a tough track to drive because it is so small and kind of narrow too. And so when you come off those corners and you're not able to keep that car straight, not only will you ruin your race, but you'll ruin everyone else's too.
Yeah, a lot of people say it's a bigger Bristol. In my mind, it's Bristol on steroids because you're going that much faster. And then it's just something about these corners with that dipping into them and then almost like a jump out of them. The truck doesn't, or the cars don't get any air, but it's just that feeling of like you're going to lift off the track. It's unlike anything else we go to on the schedule, and it really does make for good racing.
Well, Mama Madden is out in the chat right now saying good luck to her boys, and here's one of them right now. Michael Madden out here in 4th place already, moving up 1 spot. So be on the lookout up in the front because Michael Madden's on his way.
Yeah, Michael Madden, started 5th up to 4th already, just kind of taking his time. Doesn't want to put himself in any odd situations, have to use a faster pair early as we see. We're already on lap 8, coming to lap 9, so these laps do click by quick. So Michael's just kind of laying here back in the weeds, so to speak, just ready to go. He's running Brandon Domain down for P3, and looks like Cole Martin's kind of lost pace to Corey Saucier. Corey's kind of pulled out a little bit from Cole, so that's kind of interesting to see.
Man, we laid down the challenge to Corey Saucier to win and you're in, and here he goes. He is way out front, about 1.5 seconds ahead and extending.
Yeah, Corey Saucier right now is in another zip code on lap times. He has got that truck dialed in, and that's extremely impressive to see because all these guys are on the same exact setup with the fixed setup. So at the end of the day, man, it's just the difference of the driver making that time anywhere you can find it. And right now, man, that Chick-fil-A car is looking good for Corey Saucier.
Man, everything Chick-fil-A always looks good. But I'll tell you something that looks even better, Tropical Smoothie Cafe. That stuff, whew, that is some good stuff.
Oh, the amount of times I went there when I was in college at Michigan State, Sean, it's probably a bad thing for my bank account, but it is just too good. So if you got a Tropical Smoothie Cafe in your local area, check them out. You will absolutely love it. If you've never heard of it, it's it's a smoothie place, kind of like Jamba Juice if you've heard of that. It's exactly the same type of place. You can get food as well besides smoothies, so make sure you check them out. And we see here Vincent Cortez. That's that leader of that second-tier playoff for Flavor Bomb BBQ, Sean. So he's in 13th place right now and looking to make his way through this field.
Man, I'm going to jump back a little ways. Let's go back to Rob Yost, and I call him the ultimate underdog. Nobody thought that he could make it into the playoffs. He made it. Nobody thought that he was going to do good in the All-Star race. Not only did he do good, he did great in the All-Star race, and now here he is. He's back in 23rd right now, so he's got some stuff to make up, but he is the ultimate underdog, and he always pulls through.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right, is, we're on lap 13. He can just be buying his time, and here we go. We got a yellow on the track, Sean, so, not sure where that happened here. Looks like it's down the front stretch. Got a truck blowing up. But like you're saying, Rob Yost, it's very, very early, and, he could have a little strategy game.
Not sure who's, there we go. That's Taylor Smith.
Yeah, Taylor Smith, looks like he must have got the wall or ran into the back of someone because he's got some front-end damage there. You see the truck pillowing with smoke coming out that rear end. So Taylor Smith off to a bad start here. Gonna have to use that fast repair, but that's a nice thing we have.
Yeah, we're gonna back it up just a little bit, and we're gonna see what happened here to Taylor Smith as we go to our very first rec replay, brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia.
So you see Taylor just kind of riding all on his own here. Kind of got into the apron and...
Oh my gosh!
Wow. Sean, that almost looked like he might have had like a little wheel issue because it just went dead straight to the right and hit the wall. I don't know if something maybe came on or disconnected or something like that. It just was such an awkward angle. You can see it here again. It's just like straight up to the wall. And almost like a tire went down in real life.
Yeah,
I mean... Flipping down the front.
Usually on iRacing, things don't break loose like that. So So definitely some sort of malfunction happened there.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me to our recruitment race where Joe Pisaki had his son unplug his wheel and kind of did the same thing at Texas Motor Speedway in our recruitment race. It's got that look to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. So that will definitely hinder Taylor Smith's chances here tonight as we jump back live.
Yeah, we see a lot of our leaders, everyone came down pit lane getting some fresh tires and fuel. I tell you what though, Sean, we got a driver in 28th spot right now. That's Josh Mueller, who's in the playoffs. He's one lap down and he's in 28th spot right now. So you got to hope, there are some more yellows because if I remember correctly, he has to finish 21st or better. So he's got to get himself quickly onto that lead lap. That way, if there's more accidents, things like that, he doesn't have to race anyone else to get that lucky dog. So that 28 truck, or 26, sorry, the 26 truck of Josh Mueller's got to get himself back onto the lead lap.
Yes, he does, and he's got time. I mean, he's got some time to do that. He's just got to stay nice, clean, consistent, and get going from there. So, you know what? While we have a brief moment, let's see if we can't grab one of our playoff drivers. Let's see if we can't get Byron McDonald up here just to say hello and see how he's doing here tonight. Hey, Byron, Sean and Jake up in the booth, buddy. How's it going?
All right, man. How's it going?
Man, doing good. Did you ever think that you would be up here towards the top of the playoff standings, coming to Dover here with a great chance to move on to the next round?
Man, after the Talladega win, last week it was just about, keeping control and staying afloat and setting ourselves up to have a good night tonight. So 18th or better tonight for us. So that's the goal, but ultimately it's going to be the win. So I have nothing to lose here. So I'm going to go for the win here.
Definitely, and Byron, that's the beauty of it. You had a great run at Talladega, getting the win, and then strong finish at Kansas Speedway. So you come in here, you don't really have to worry too much. But I gotta ask, man, if you do advance, how do you feel about those 3 tracks in that second round to get yourself into the final race?
A little secret here, man. Rev Trucks have been racing on COTA for about a month now. So we got a couple of private sessions with some a Ford Rouse performance driver that's known for racing at COTA. So I'm pretty confident, man. It's going to be a fun racetrack. That's the one that I got circled right now that I'm looking forward to. And early after that, it's just whoever is at the end.
All right, buddy. We're going to let you get right back to it.
All righty, man. Appreciate it.
All right. Sorry, Jake. Didn't mean to cut you off there, but we were 1 to green, and we wanted to be sure that they had plenty of time to kind of get their wits about them.
Oh, definitely. That's it's always a lovely feeling, when you're when you're driving these things and you get to talk to you or any of our other broadcasts. You almost kind of get lost at what's going on the track. So obviously, got to jump or drop them down. We're going to see a restart here. It's going to be Corey Saucier again in command of the lead. Or actually, is it? Yeah, okay, yeah, it is. Sorry. Scoring loop just shows Cole is in the lead, but maybe past the line before him. So it's going to be Corey Saucier, though, leading this thing back to green. Going to be, he's going to have Michael Madden now in P3, Sean. I think he's going to be hungry to get that lead and kind of take command of this race.
Oh, definitely. And look for Michael Madden to have a really good jump here and look for him to be battling Cole Martin really quickly for that second spot.
Yeah, and man, those 2 in the front row really broke away, and it was almost like Michael Madden was in third gear, maybe just kind of over-revved the engine, didn't get the shift because kind of lost a little time, but he gathers it back up and clears 4th and 5th place. So Michael Madden's going to try to hunt these guys down for the lead, but Cole Martin going to make a move to the inside of Corey Saucier through 3 and 4. Corey's hanging really tough on that outside, but Cole going to get the inside, got loose though, so Corey's going to pull away as they head into 1.
Man, I love the cockpit view here because it shows exactly how fast these trucks are on this track.
Yeah, they are absolutely
caution.
screaming. We got a yellow on the track, though, Sean.
Not really sure where this one is.
Yeah, a little bit of a phantom yellow, kind of like the first one. Didn't really know where it happened at first.
I am not seeing any damage out there on the track.
Taylor
Smith again.
Taylor Smith again with another blown engine, so that's going to be his second of 2 fast repairs you, Sean. And obviously Taylor is in that second tier playoffs, but that's the kind of bad luck if you're one of these playoff drivers that need to have a good finish. You don't want to have early on, like we've seen here, the second Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia rec replay. You're going to see it again here. This 24 truck for Team SRN, Taylor Smith to the outside of Walt Lipicki, kind of running that high line through 3 and 4. Wonder if he grabs the wall again.
Yeah, he
gets a little loose out of shape.
Yeah, gets that wiggle off the turn. And a lot of times, it is really tough to recover from something like that because we are going a lot faster than you would think we are going on a short track. It is so tough to recover once you start wiggling.
Oh, and that's the thing, too, is here at Dover, like you were saying earlier on the show, it's just so tight. You know, there is not a lot of room. There's no infield or anything like that to kind of loop the truck into and save it down there without hitting a wall. And, you know, you see Taylor trying to catch it both ways, left and right, and you know, he thought he could go to the left with it, and unfortunately, man, that inside wall just is so close to you, and it just all happens so quickly. And unfortunately for Taylor, he's going to have a hard lick here to the inside, and really good that no one else got into him, because that's kind of the thing you see here at Dover, is a guy will hit the wall, they recoil back up into the racing line, you know, obviously not their own doing, and then there's a huge pile up here. It always happens here.
Well, don't look now, but Josh Mueller, who we talked about a little bit earlier, he is in the playoffs, needs a decent finish. He is jumping right back on the lead lap now with this lucky dog.
Yeah, and that's huge for him. You know, obviously, you know, it's early on. It's only lap 21 of 125, but you just don't want anything to happen to you, you know, being on that lap down. Anything kind of funky, you know, something like that could just, you know, hinder that and take a little bit longer, because if this thing goes on a long green flag run, you know, the leaders, Corey Saucier, Cole Martin, Michael Madden, whoever is in command of the race leading this thing, could start putting other trucks, you know, lap down. So it just makes it that much tougher. And you just don't want to put yourself in a bind early on. So good to see Josh get that lap back. Now he's going to probably pit here to get some tires and fuel and try to make his way up through this field like we've seen him do these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but yes, he's going to get into the pits. Get those tires and stuff and all that. And then once he gets out of the pits, I think we're going to try to bring him up into the booth to kind of get his feelings on where he's at, not only in the playoffs, but in this race.
Yeah, and that's just the cool thing about iRacing is, you know, like real life, we up here in the booth are able to drag guys, you know, into the booth, so to speak, and kind of pick their brain and, you know, give the fans at home that are watching just, you know, an understanding of what goes through our drivers' minds during one of these races. So it's a great thing to have here.
All right.
Although I wonder if they're going to get the one to go here soon, Sean, when before he gets out. So I'm not sure if you want to wait maybe or not.
You know what? You are absolutely correct. We are about to get to that one to go as we come around here. And so we will give him a little break here. But next time we go under caution, if there is another caution, then we'll try to get Josh Mueller up here because love to hear his point of view from being this far back in the pack. Does he have a shot to make it in?
Yeah, and, you know, it also, you know, he's kind of under a little pressure, so to speak, and, you know, it'd be interesting to, you know, kind of hear his tone to see if he's a little rattled or if he's just cool, calm, and collective and ready to get after it here, you know, on these restarts, because it's an easy way to pick up a lot of spots here at Dover, because once it kind of gets single filed out, it's tough to pass and makes for a really grueling long day if you're kind of in the middle of the pack, so... But up front, man, Sean, it's been all Corey Saucier, Cole Martin, Michael Madden. You see Andrew Harris now in fourth, Jonathan Beyer, that third truck on the inside in fifth place. So, you know, there's these playoff drivers. They know it's the final race of the first round, and they're here ready to go. You know, putting on a show up front. Yeah,
and Carrie Beyer is in the chat right now saying that Jonathan Beyer is going to bring this home, that her brother is the best iRacer out here. And so we'll find out, but he is definitely in a position that he's got that chance.
He definitely does. You know, Jonathan Beyer is a really, really good driver in his own right. He's just, unfortunately, the bad luck is, you know, kind of hindered his results this season, and that's just, it's tough to watch because, you know, we raced with him last season, you know, really good guy on and off the track. So we'll see what he can do here tonight, though. But I tell you, Corey Saucier, you're going to be one to a hard driver to beat. You know, he's kind of, you know, got this restart thing down. He really creeps to it, and he's able to pull away and get single file in front of Cole as we head down into turn one.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a great run off of Cole right there. And Michael Madden's going to drop down to fourth place, but that's where he was just a few minutes ago and ended up back up in third. So just give Michael Madden some time there, and he should be back up there. But Corey Saucier's been dominating this race, especially off the restarts.
Yeah, he really has. Corey's, you know, kind of pulled out to, you know, that initial longer run. He got almost to a second and a half in front of Cole Martin. And, you know, early on, he's kind of stretches it out to about 4 to 5 tenths. And then it's just, you know, every single lap, just slowly but surely just, you know, extending that lead he's got.
Yeah, we saw Michael York kind of have a nice tight car off the corner a little bit earlier and almost get into the wall, but here he is up in 6th place already. So you just never know how your fortunes can change here.
Yeah, we like you said, he had a little bit of a moment. He saved it, kept it off both the walls, able to keep that truck clean, and he's in P6 looking for more. But right now, that battle for 3rd has been heating up. Michael Madden and Andrew Harris were side by side. Andrew Harris able to pull away for him right now, but I think Michael's a little bit quicker. Just got to time out the run to make the pass here on this 87 truck. If you're Michael Madden, just got to be patient with it. Don't want to overdrive it, hit the apron, and run up into him, things like that. So Michael Madden looking really quick so far early on here in this race.
Well, Team Madden is out in droves out there in the chat because we got Mike Carraz out there saying, let's go number 15 also. So anytime you have a Madden on the track, you're going to have a lot of fans.
Oh yeah, they show up. It's impressive to see. It's awesome. I mean, it brings a lot of viewership, things like that. So Michael Madden's got a ton of fans, and in his own doing, he's giving them a show on the track.
Yeah, and everybody's giving us a show on the track right now. A lot of good driving out here, even with it being kind of the lower I rating series here and at a really difficult track. I mean, it's easy to lose it on this track, and they're doing a great job of it.
Oh, they absolutely are. It's
we just said it.
As we say that, Sean Kosher gets a little love tap from the 18 of Bobby Anderson in the middle of 3 and 4, and around the 97 went and brings out the yellow flag here. Oh, and you love to hear it instantly. Bobby Anderson, the 18, coming over the comms saying, hey, I didn't mean to do that, buddy. I apologize. So great sportsmanship there by the 18 car or 18 truck of Bobby Anderson.
Yeah, and you can see Bobby Anderson trying to get back up towards the front so he can solidify his position in the playoffs. And you'll see on this Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorial Rec replay that he just kind of gets up underneath Kosher and just hits him just a little bit wrong.
Yeah, they were 3 wide, and that's just that's tough to do here. I'm not sure if the 18 will see it here from this angle. When he got the apron, no, he doesn't, but there's just not much room, and a little slip up by either one of those drivers, and that's kind of what causes that accident. We saw right in the 2 trucks in front of him, it looked like it into it, trying to avoid the wreck. See here on board just kind of what the view is, Sean, here. You just kind of see him at the last second. I think he tried bailing out of it, but he was just too far underneath Sean and just kind of barely bumped him, unintentional or anything like that, and just sends Sean Kosher around. Thankfully, though, 97, not too much damage.
And now we've got a little bit of strategy going on here as Byron McDonald and Brian Crocker both stay out while everyone else pits. So Byron McDonald, one of our playoff drivers, getting that all-important bonus point for leading a lap, and that will help him out in the playoff hunt because now he doesn't have to finish higher than 19th anymore. Now he has to finish higher than 20th.
Yeah, and that's crucial. That's the same thing we saw Bobby Anderson do at Richmond. Lead a lap, get a bonus point, another point to the total. Makes it that much, easier to get yourself into the next round. So, good strategy there by Byron. Barely ran any laps there. I think it was under 10 laps. So, good call there for that 23 car. Or 23 truck. Wow, I keep doing that, man.
Man, it's okay. We got cars, we got trucks, we got just about everything in this league. We're having a great time with it. But, Byron McDonald, again, he had that win at Talladega. Big win for him, his first win of the season. Now he's looking for number 2, and if he can do this on pit strategy, that would just be unreal.
Yeah, it kind of shocked the race, right now. If he's able to hang up here and hold off Corey Saucier, who's going to be right behind him on this restart, it'll be pretty impressive to see. But man, we got our pit reporter down there, Daniel Ballard. Man, what have you been seeing so far?
Man, I just got over here from doing a little bit of some dirt racing here tonight. So just jumping in, just getting my head around some of these strategies. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a bold move there for Byron to stay out and lead lap, get those bonus points. But in the end game, could be a really good move to get him into the playoffs for sure.
Definitely. I mean, we've got a couple of moves going on right now. We got Byron McDonald all the way up front, and then Cole Martin, who was back in second place. Now he's all the way back in 25th. So he had to stay in the pits for 57 seconds trying to get some damage repaired, I believe, from hitting the wall a little bit earlier. So not the position he wants to be in.
No, not at all. And also, too, I think Michael Madden in the 15 truck, he got a penalty, I think, for speeding in pit lane because he's back in 23rd right now. So, those two guys were in the top three. Now having to fall back into the back of the pack. And, for Cole, he's got the luxury of, being locked in. But Michael Madden, man, just got to avoid any accident in front of you here. That way you don't have to use these fast repairs up or, it's going to just make it a really, really long night if you do and kind of just get the nerves, really ramping up for you here on lap 33.
Yeah, just keep in mind that Michael Madden only needs a 17th place finish or better to lock himself into the playoff or the round of 10 of the playoffs. That doesn't mean that if he doesn't finish inside the top 17 that he's out. It just means that he needs some help to stay in.
Yep, and that's the thing. It's kind of a two-sided street. It's what you do and what the other guys do as well. So it's just a lot of storylines to keep up with. But up front, man, it's going to be Byron McDonald. Going to pull away. He's going to bring Andrew Harris with him on the outside. And I tell you what, I think that was Brian Crocker on the inside for Bronco Motorsports. Kind of just stalled up there, and Corey Saucier was just stuck behind him on this restart.
Yeah, now Saucier got out to the outside, and he's going to take that fourth position. And so he's got a little bit of work to do to get up to our leaders here. But Byron McDonald on older tires, I'm not going to say he's a sitting duck because obviously he's put a little bit of distance there. But after a little while, those tires are going to wear off quick.
Michael York grabs the wall. Yeah, I think Andrew Harris, if this thing stays green for about 5 laps, I think Andrew's able to get by him with new tires, things like that.
So, Daniel, I know you're in here from the pits also, but what is your strategy at a place like Dover?
Survive, man. As you guys just alluded to, that wall will just reach out and grab you in the blink of an eye. You could be having a good lap, you feel like, and the next thing you know, you're up in that outside fence and got all sorts of damage to the truck. So I think just survival, make sure you take care of your stuff, be around at the end, and, as we speak, we got another caution out here on the track.
That's Josh Witt in the wall.
You heard me freaking out. It happened right in front of Cole Martin and Michael Madden. I thought Cole was for sure going to hit this truck of Josh Witt spinning to the inside. It was just that close. Sorry, guys.
Oh, no, that's fine, and we're going to go back and find out what happened back here. But, this is kind of what I call the concrete jungle. There's concrete on the outside and on the inside. There is no safe space here. And you'll see on this Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia Rec replay that he got a little bit of a love tap. Somebody got loose off the wall and came down.
Yeah, I think that was the 97 Sean Kosher kind of brushed the outside fence. And then these two, obviously, Sean and the 16 of Josh Witt, made a little contact here at a turn 2, and that's just, like Bowler said, happens in a blink of an eye. Things, really, really happen quickly. And see there, Cole Martin able to last second kind of move up the track to the right and avoid this thing. And it's only a one-car accident. It's been very impressive to see. A lot of our yellows so far have only been one truck, not collecting a lot of other guys. So, interesting.
I'm not really sure I saw contact there. I think that was a little bit of netcode. So now netcode, for all those viewers out there that don't know what we're talking about, is basically where both computers kind of link up together and they say, hey, you know what, I think we're going to hit, and they go ahead and act like those trucks have hit each other. And so I think that's kind of what happened there on camera. I didn't see the actual touching, but there was those computers registered that and created the wreck.
Yeah, it's kind of like a bubble, like around your car. And if a guy's got slower internet or whatever you want to call it, it just kind of acts as if you do touch. As you saw those two guys, there was space in between them, but it reacted like they didn't make contact, which sent the 16 to the inside wall. And Byron McDonald was leading it, but now he's coming down pit lane. So he's giving up the lead to Andrew Harris, who's going to get a bonus point here and now be in the command of this restart. So Andrew Harris is going to be our leader.
Yeah, and let's see if we can jump down there really quick and bring up the ultimate underdog, Rob Yost. He's back there in 25th right now. Hey, Rob, this is Sean and Jake up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
Very stressful.
Yeah, that's what we're just talking about. We know you're in a good position in the playoffs right now, but you're kind of back towards the back of the pack. What's your plan to get forward?
Well, usually if these races go green per pretty long distance, they like to wreck at the end. And the both times I came down pit road, I came out with drivers I do not get along with on track. So I decided to go to the rear, try to stay out of situations.
Oh, that's the name of the game, especially at a tight track like Dover. You know, you don't want to put yourself in any binds. You know, almost kind of let it happen to the other guys as opposed to you. So it's a smart plan to get to, you know, bail yourself out of the middle of the pack, kind of put yourself in the back, so that way if it all, you know, unfolds in front of you, you got enough time to react and, you know, slow down and avoid the wrecks. So we'll be watching along, Rob. You know, hopefully you don't get caught up. You've done a great job so far. You're about to be lap 40, so keep running up and try to make your way to the front, man.
I'm going to try. I just need to stay away from my teammate Taylor, and I think we'll be all right.
All right, buddy. Well, have a great night. Good luck the rest of the way. The ultimate underdog, man. You still got this, though.
Well, we'll see what we can do.
All right, buddy. Take care. All right, and Rob Yost, yeah, always good for a good interview. And like I said, he is that guy that everybody doesn't really think about until he's right there and you've got a shot at him. So, you know, he's one of those guys that you just never know. He could end up in the top 5. He could end up in the next round where, you know, most people didn't even think he would be there.
Right, it's just kind of that Cinderella story. You know, not a lot of people will talk about him. You know, he's not, you know, he hasn't won yet this season. Doesn't mean he can't go out here and win tonight. So he's just, you know, he's quieter, you know, kind of keeps himself under the radar. But when push comes to shove, man, Rob Yost puts himself in the right spots to be able to go and grab the points he needs to. You know, he got himself into the playoffs. Now he's trying to advance. So, you know, he knows what he's doing in that right.
Well, now we got Andrew Harris and Corey Saucier, and Corey Saucier right back up front towards where he needs to be now. If he can get a good restart here and catch Andrew Harris, he can start to pull away once again.
Yeah, Corey Saucier gonna have to have a good restart here. That way you don't kind of get you know, run over from guys behind, or, you know, fall back a few spots and kind of get back in the hornet's nest. We see the 4 truck and the 66 kind of make a little contact there on the restart. But it's all right. They keep the trucks going, and, you know, Corey Saucier, I think he's going to try to make quick work here of Andrew Harris into 3, try to make a pass for this lead.
Yeah, and the view from Corey Saucier's truck here, working really, really hard on that bumper, just trying to get the right angle to get past Andrew Harris.
And you see in his mirror, you got the 4 truck, Jose Castellanos, right up behind him. So this 4 truck's coming quick, trying to make, you know, or to take over P2. To try to get himself up in the lead.
Yeah, we haven't seen 3 trucks all up here racing at the same time all race long. So, and then you got Jonathan Beyer right behind too. So, 4 truck race here.
Yeah, it really is. These 4 have kind of pulled away a little bit from you know, 5th place Brandon Domain. These guys are just kind of running nose to tail right now. And we got a yellow flag, big wreck down into turn 1.
Trying to see exactly.
The 7 truck of Doc Holliday.
And so we are going to check that out. Love that paint scheme. Not so sure we like the wreck, though, unfortunately.
Yeah, you never see, or you never like seeing these guys have, you know, get into an accident. But Doc Holliday, it's that Jeff Gordon, patriotic red, white, and blue DuPont kind of flame scheme he ran in Charlotte a few years back. Good-looking paint scheme he's got on his truck. But yeah, I was watching this actually because Cole Martin and Michael Madden were back here battling with these guys, and they make a little contact here. That's, yeah, Michael Madden. Wow, I didn't even pick up on that because I'd moved back up to the front of the pack. Michael Madden definitely has damage on that truck, so it'll be interesting to see if he uses a fast repair, or if he kind of just, you know, keeps him in his pocket.
Yeah, Michael Madden kind of comes down off the wall just a little bit there, and again, those trucks off that turn, it is so hard to keep those things straight. So we're going to see a lot of that here tonight.
Yeah, you know, Daniel Baller, obviously another racer here in our series. You know, kind of speak about what it's like coming out of, you know, turn 2 and turn 4 here at this track.
Yeah, it's really treacherous, guys. You know, you're carrying so much speed. You know, you dive down into these corners, and The center of the corner just gives you so much confidence, you know, that you're going to be able to really throttle up and get off these corners, and then you kind of drive up out of them, and the back end can either step out around you, or that front end just has no grip and you head straight for the wall. So really sometimes it can be a guessing game on what these trucks are going to do, you know, when you come off of turn 2 and turn 4.
Yeah, such a tough corner, such a tough racetrack for that to happen. And you can see that there really was not that much movement either way. It's just ran out of room both sides.
Yeah, it's basically real estate was taken by both parties there, and they made contact, and that's just kind of how it happens here. Next thing you know, you're in the fence with a truck slamming into your door, and you're trying to keep it straight and keep it from spinning and hitting the inside wall. Trying to limit as much damage as possible, but it looks like Cole Martin stays out, and he's going to take over this lead, and Byron McDonald, again, staying out, going to be in P2. So, there's a lot of difference in opinion on strategy right now. Some guys are kind of coming in every time they have a little bit of a longer run, and some guys, saying, well, it's not too much of a run, so I'm going to stay out and take the track position over, fresher tires.
Yeah, Daniel, what's the word down there on pit lane as far as all of these differing strategies that you're seeing?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how they end up playing out here, as we have, what do we have roughly to go?
80-ish? Yeah, 80 laps?
Yeah, 80-ish laps left, and we're only, so you figure we're just over a third of the way through this. Things keep getting shuffled out. One battle I keep watching here as we make these pit stops is Kyle Wimble versus, we were talking about Robert Yost, hanging out there in the back. Robert needs to make sure that he finishes within 8 positions of Kyle Wimble, and right now he is on the outside looking in, just doing the quick math here.
Yeah, I mean, this math is going to get really, really fun towards the end of this race, but I think it's kind of going to start to shake out, especially if we have a lot of cautions going on. A lot of these leaders are going to be involved in these cautions, and it's really going to give us a clearer picture. But if you look from 6th place through 14th place, you have 9 trucks there, and every single one of them is in the playoffs right now.
Yeah, and that's been the hot spot of where the accidents are happening, is kind of that middle of the pack range. So, if it does happen, and that's all playoff drivers, that's just going to make that quick math a little bit harder for us up here in the booth, trying to figure out who's in. If this thing happens, later on in the race, and it's puts them into the pits for the rest of the race, it's really going to shake up that picture for the playoffs.
Yeah, another one to watch is going to be Michael Madden, guys. We've seen him just get involved in that accident there. He's not safe, by any right here to be eliminated from these playoffs if he gets caught up in a few more of those accidents.
Yeah, so nobody is safe here except for Cole Martin, and Cole Martin, of course, is the leader right now.
Yeah, Cole Martin right now, and Byron McDonald as well. These guys are kind of trying to differ the strategy. They're really, really hoping this thing goes about 10 to 15 laps. That way everybody would come down pit lane. But, man, Cole Martin just instantly, as soon as that pace car comes off, on the loud pedal, the gas pedal, getting a really, really sizable lead as they head into 1.
Yeah, and he just took off like a shot, and so he got a good 0.6 of a second lead. But look at what's going on right back here in the back. We are 2 by 2 back here for about 6th through 9th place.
Yeah, you see Corey Saucier there trying to make up some spots with those 2 trucks hung on the outside. Corey going to be able to clear that 16, which is so crucial. That way, he doesn't have to worry about the guy on his outside hitting the wall and coming down into him. But I tell you what, man, Byron McDonald reeled Cole Martin back down. He is right there behind him in his tire tracks, trying to try to pass Cole Martin and take the lead back.
Yeah, Byron got the winning bug inside of him back there at Talladega, and he wants that bug once again, because he is putting all sorts of pressure on series leader Cole Martin.
Yeah, looking to the inside, but doesn't, get the nose underneath him. Cole clipped the apron a little bit. It's going to open the door for Byron, who's going to get the run down the back straightaway, get to his inside. I think he's going to be able to make the pass here and clear him out of 4. So Byron McDonald, he's not going to clear him, though. He's going to get tight. Cole's going to get the run on the high side. So now they're going to go side by side down the front into 1 again. I think the inside should prevail, but if the 23 gets tight again like that, it's going to make it that much easier, that much harder on his own self.
Well, while these two are battling it out, Michael York, who had some trouble a little bit earlier, is up in third place, and he is catching these guys. Oh, no! We got a wreck!
Oh, and they make a little contact, and this is that big wreck.
Turns into a disaster.
We just talked about
big
it, guys.
carnage.
That was right there in the midst of all those playoff drivers.
Parking lot
Corey
at
Saucier
Dover.
involved. Wow, that was a huge wreck. Cole Martin had a tow. His teammate, I believe, Andrew Harris, had a tow.
Wow.
So that's 2 Bronco Motorsports trucks had to take a tow. Bobby Anderson had to take a tow as well. And that's exactly like what you were just saying, Daniel.
Oh, and Byron had clipped the apron.
Oh, and then a huge hit, and this just shows the fans at home how tight this track is. When a truck spins, it kind of clogs the whole track up, and it's a guessing game of which way to go. And for this accident, man, I mean, there was no right way to go. There were cars or trucks sitting left and right, and it was just a parking lot, like you said, Sean Griffith.
Oh, and lots of Bronco Motorsports cars and trucks involved there. I think I see 3, maybe 4 Bronco Motorsports trucks all involved in that, and a couple of those in the playoffs also. So, man, huge hit. And let's see it from Byron's point of view, because you can see he's going to touch that apron and then spike up.
Yeah, it just clips it right there on the exit of the corner, and that just sends Cole up into the wall. And then it was just absolutely carnage behind, Byron. And man, I'm not sure if 15 Michael Madden was able to make it through that or not without any damage. I know him and Saucier were kind of near one another.
We're going to take a look here shortly, but Josh Mueller comes up onto this wreck, and again, nowhere to go here. So he just slows it down, checks it up, and just waits for everything to sort itself out.
Yeah, it barely gets the wall, which at that speed, not going to do too much damage. So heck of a job by Josh getting that truck woed up and able to avoid it. I actually misspoke. Obviously, Michael's a ways behind this accident, so that's the view of the wreck. All that smoke. You saw the truck there of the 81. You could see it in the air, and Michael just absolutely parks it on the inside. Just lets these guys continue wrecking.
One thing to notice there, guys, on those 2 replays that we just showed, I can't remember who we just showed before this one, but if, looking at Michael Madden's view, he went to the inside there to try to avoid that wreck. And our previous replay, we tried to go to the outside, and you notice the difference on how clear the track was on the outside versus the inside. This track's pretty unique, and being what they call a self-cleaning racetrack here, when you get these crashes on the straightaways with this much banking, they tend to always slide down to the inside of the track.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah,
go ahead.
No, I was just, like you said, Daniel, it very much is. It's, just kind of cleans itself. It's just like Bristol and the other really banked tracks that have the banking on the straightaway, where it just, slides the guys down to the inside wall.
Man, all sorts of damage there. I mean, we had 11 of our top 14 drivers, so 11 of the 14 drivers that are in the playoffs, because Nathan Nixon's not here, they were all in the top 15, and now that has sorted itself out. We only have 8 in the top 15 now.
Yep, and a guy, obviously Andrew Harris, who had a tow, used a fast repair. He's sitting 1 lap or 2 laps down now, in 24th. His teammate behind him, Cole Martin's got the luxury of not needing to worry about what happens here tonight. But another playoff driver, that 18 truck of Bobby Anderson as well. They had really great runs the first 2 weeks, and this is kind of what they needed to avoid. Bobby needed to finish 21st or better. Andrew needs 9th or better to get locked in. So you really look at the 87 of Andrew Harris, and you got to wonder, with all these accidents, you kind of got to be mindful of it to make sure you don't get caught up in these next ones so you can get your laps back.
And now up front, so we got Byron McDonald taking that outside position, but look who's on the inside, Jonathan Beyer. So I know Carrie Beyer, Jonathan's sister, is out there watching this and loving that position out there, that he is there on the inside, and if he can get a good restart here, he could take that lead away. But look who's up on the outside in 4th position, Michael Madden.
Michael Madden on the outside, also to his inside, Jose Castellanos. So him and Jonathan Beyer needed those 2 good runs to get themselves locked into the next round, as well as the misfortune of other guys, which we've seen so far. But Byron McDonald for Rev Racing going to pull away from these guys, try to bring his teammate along with Michael Madden, but Jonathan Beyer got a great run through the middle of 1 and 2 on the inside, and he's going to bring him up to the rear bumper of Byron McDonald. So Jonathan Beyer going to try to take over this lead of this race, Sean.
Yeah, and he is right up on the bumper of Byron. And he's going to drop down to the inside, try to get that position. He's going to get a nose on him, but can he complete it?
Wreck here, guys. We got a wreck in the back.
And that's Cole Martin
in it again. Is that Corey Saucier?
That's Corey Saucier right next to him, yeah. So a couple of our playoff drivers once again involved. And again, Cole doesn't really have to worry too much about it, but Corey does.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it for the 85, and the misfortune for the 3 truck is just the differencing of the way the playoffs have started. So we're going to see here again on the Sandwich Man Racing Sports Memorabilia Rec replay. You see Cole Martin on the inside through 3 and 4. Oh, we see. I think there were 3 wide there out of turn 4 in front of them.
Oh yeah, it
Cole
happened in
check
front.
up early. Doc Holliday again spinning.
Not too bad there for Cole, guys. I think he's going to be okay out of that.
Yeah, Cole's truck doesn't look damaged. Just a little scrape on the right side, but this is where it all happened. Not sure who that black truck was with the orange stripe, but that driver got into the outside wall, and that's what sent, got into Doc Holliday, and it was spinning like a top for Doc.
Yeah, that was Jeremy Duncan in the 79. And he taps that wall, comes down. I mean, once you tap that wall, I mean, it's just all up to the racing gods at that point.
Yeah, Doc Holliday really in the wrong spot at the wrong time. If he was a little bit further ahead, a little bit more behind Jeremy Duncan, he would have missed that truck coming down the track and wouldn't have, been spinning like he was. That's just the nature of the beast here at Dover. Monster of the Mile likes to reach out and grab you and, take your race and kind of flip it upside down, which we've seen here lately. These last few restarts have been crazy.
Yeah, Cole's going to get a little bit of damage there, but I think he'll be okay. And, but man, we have got a lot of stuff going on. We got Jack Johnson back here in 23rd, so now he's a lap, I believe he's a lap down. Yes, he is. Bobby Anderson, a lap down. You got Andrew Harris, that's 2 laps down, and Cole Martin, that's 2 laps down as well. So a lot of our playoff drivers having some real struggles. And then Corey Saucier, who is tied for the cut line, back here in 18th. So this is going to be a little bit more difficult than people thought it was, but Jonathan Beyer got the lead before the caution came out, and so now, Kerry Beyer, there's your brother.
Yeah, and Jonathan is doing absolutely everything he needs to do for himself right now. He's got himself in the lead. We're almost halfway through this race, and a lot of the early on top drivers, they've had their own troubles. So it's opened the door for a driver like Jonathan Beyer, who needs a really great run here tonight to get himself moved on into the second round of 10, or the round of 10 for the playoffs. So Jonathan Beyer, man, he's just got to keep his truck clean, keep himself up front, and he'll do the work he needs to do.
Yeah, Byron McDonald really running a great race right now back there in second place, and Michael Madden as well back there in third. And really the safest place on the track is right here in the top 4 or 5 cars.
Yeah, and I look at fourth place. Cody Riggs started 20th. He's in 4th. Our 5th place driver is going to be Walt Lipicki. He started 18th. He's now up to 5th. 6th place James Kerr started 13th, and now he's obviously in 6th. 7th place Josh Mueller started 26th. So, Josh, who we were talking early on, Sean, was, having a little slower of a start, but now, man, he's up to 7th place.
Yeah, I mean, so we're really shuffling the pack here a little bit, and we're shuffling that deck, and we're going to see exactly who can come away with this thing. But some different names towards the front. So Walt Lipicki, we saw him do pretty well in the All-Star race, made it into the actual All-Star race through the qualifying. Cody Riggs did a great job there. Michael Madden, we've always seen him up front. Byron McDonald, we saw him with 1 win, but before that win, he really didn't have too many incredible finishes. And so we're really seeing some different names up front. So we might see some different kind of racing.
Yeah, and that's it's awesome to see new faces up front. It's kind of puts the spotlight on them for a majority of this race, and that's really great to see. Especially Jonathan Beyer, another one of those guys who's just been really, really quiet all season long, but he's got himself in the playoffs, and now he's leading this thing. So awesome to see for Jonathan Beyer.
Definitely. I'm just kind of going back down the list here. James Kerr back there in 6th position. Brandon Domain, who, yes, he's in the playoffs. And yes, he's been fairly consistent, but he hasn't really been up front a lot. He's back there in 8th. And so, man, you just never know here at Dover.
No, you don't. But one thing we do know, Jonathan Beyer going to go on that gas pedal, try to get a good lead as they go into turn 1. Going to make the 2 teammates from Rev Racing side by side, but Byron McDonald kind of lets his teammate go. So Michael Madden going to try to reel in Jonathan Beyer and try to get the lead of this race. But, man, I tell you what, Jonathan Beyer is looking really, really fast right now. He's kind of pulled away here quite a bit on 2nd and 3rd place. So Jonathan Beyer, all he needed to do, man, was get himself out in the lead, and, he can set sail and kind of pull away.
Yeah, we're going to see that pack right back in the back. They're going to have some issues getting off that corner, especially if they don't line up here shortly.
Yeah, I think that was Sean Kocher and Vincent Cortez side by side in the middle of turn 1 and 2. That's just how tight this track is, and we see Sean Kocher up to 15th or 13th.
Yellow flag,
really
Tevin Whitner.
No, they're yellow. Tevin Whitner of the 9 truck. Looks like he took a tow there. Truck must have blown the engine or something, and looks like Tevin Whitner has left the race there.
Yeah,
unfortunate to see.
Let's go back and see if we can find out what happened to Tevin as we go to another rec replay.
Yeah, we'll see here another Sandwich Man Racing Sportsman will be a rec replay. It's this 9 truck here, all alone, kind of in the middle of 3 and 4. Got a truck in front of him as he looks like he's going to be clear out of 4. Not too sure. It must have happened through 1 and 2. Goes to the inside of Rob Yost, who kind of said he wanted to hang out in the back, kind of take it easy here. Tevin Whitner gets those left side tires on the apron. It just kind of loses the handling of that truck, and we see him spin out all on his own.
Yeah, so
doesn't look like he really hit the wall though, Sean.
No, I mean just a single truck deal. I mean nothing too major, but he was all over that apron, and that's what got him a little bit squirrely. Came down. Oh yeah, he did hit the wall pretty good.
Oh yeah, he did. Yep, and that's just how tight it is. It's hard to see from all our camera angles. So Tevin Whitner definitely must have blown the engine. Probably had to use both of his fast repairs. And there he is right there. He's Cell Monster of the Mile. And that's just the concrete beast, as they call it. It's this track is by no means an easy one to get it done. So, it's, props to these drivers up front that have kept their trucks clean all race long so far.
Well, let's see if we can get Jonathan Beyer up here into the booth and find out what his feelings are so far in this race. Hey, Jonathan, this is Jake and Sean and Daniel Bowler up in the booth. How's it going, buddy?
It's going all right now.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit earlier, pre-show here, and we know that not only do you have to have a really great race, you're going to need some help to get into the playoffs. What is your plan the rest of this race?
Try to keep the clean air like I have right now, because that just makes the truck drive that much better. We do have to stop one more time to make it on fuel, so we're going to have to try to play a good strategy there. But other than that, just try to stay out in front of the trouble.
I tell you what, man, Jonathan, your sister's out there in the chat. She's rooting you on, and it was like all of a sudden, as soon as we read that, man, you got yourself up front. You took over the lead of this race, and it's been great to see. You're one of the classiest guys, in our league, on and off the track. So it's awesome to see you up front here, man. And, hopefully we are able to talk to you after this race.
I hope so, too. That's the plan. We changed the paint scheme up this week to try to turn the luck around a little bit, because we really needed it tonight, being 16 points out of the cut. But we're doing our best to try to get up there.
All right, buddy. Well, keep it up. Keep that front driving going, and we'll see you after the race, all right?
Thank you, guys.
Jonathan Beyer, one of our playoff drivers, and again, he's got a tough road ahead of him if he wants to stay in the playoffs, into the top 10, into the round of 10. So that is what he is up against here tonight.
Yeah, and if he is able to pull it off, it would be one heck of a drive. I definitely think it's possible. He's just got to pull the strategy right, and he'll be up front. He's obviously got the speed in his 66 truck tonight. So Jonathan's just got to keep himself out of hitting the outside wall on corner exit. Make sure he times it right with the pit strategy, and I think Jonathan is he's got a really, really good shot at getting himself into the playoffs, or into the next round. Sorry.
Daniel Ballard, am I reading this right? Did Jack Johnson get his lap back?
Yes, he has got his lap back. He is the last car on the lead lap here. I believe he was the lucky dog.
All right, one of our playoff drivers right back in the hunt.
Yeah, and then you look at the three guys that are behind him, man. It's that 18 of Bobby Anderson, Cole Martin. He's locked in, but obviously another playoff driver. And Cole's teammate, the 87 of Andrew Harris. Andrew and Cole are both 2 laps down, so they, it'd be interesting to see if Cole kind of, gives the spot up to Andrew. That way Andrew's in the preferred spot. If there, some more yellows, that way Andrew is the one getting his laps back, as opposed to Cole, who, he could literally leave the race right now, and he's got nothing to worry about. He'll be advanced into the second round, so something to keep our eye out on are those 3 playoff guys trying to get back on the lead lap. But right now, Jonathan Beyer, another great restart. He's going to leave, Michael Madden a few truck lengths behind as they head past the start-finish line into turn 1.
Yeah, but he didn't get as good of a restart that time as he did the last time. So Michael Madden still has a shot here to move up and track him down. And he's going to get a little bit of a push there from Byron McDonald.
Yeah, it's just something about this 66 truck. It's like from the center of the corner off, man, he has just got a lot more speed than everybody else. That's kind of where we saw him pull away there through 1 and 2, and really can see it in the middle of 3 and 4. He's just on rails right now for Jonathan Beyer. He's a little speck out the front windshield for Michael Madden right now, who's trying to run him down. But I'll tell you what, Jonathan Beyer is going to make it tough for those guys behind him to get up there and grab that lead.
Teammates Jose Castellanos and Brandon Domain here side by side, and Jose takes that spot away, so he moves up into 7th. Brandon Domain down to 8th.
And that's the thing, Jose Castellanos, like Jonathan Beyer, needs to have a really strong run here tonight with the misfortunes of everybody else. You saw that truck in front of Jose kind of blink there. That is not what you want to see, especially at a track like Dover, where everything kind of happens really quick, and you got to make fast reaction to things happening around you on the track. So be interesting to see if that blinking stops or not. But Cody Riggs, again, having another great run here at Dover, running in 4th with his 2 teammates right there in front of him.
Man, I got to tell you, something has happened with Cody Riggs in the last 3 weeks that has really caught fire with him. And yeah, his truck is a little bit banged up right now, but he has been up in the top 5 more in the past 3 weeks than he has all season long.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. This is kind of the beginner series for Speed Racing Network. We saw truck get into the outside fence there out of turn 2, and that's the thing. It might just take a few weeks for these guys to kind of get a grasp on things, and then they start performing a little bit better, as well as if you got good teammates, you can bounce information off one another. You start practicing more and more frequently. Kind of gets you a little bit quicker, and it's obviously showcasing for that 224 truck.
Yeah, now we've got Josh Mueller there on the outside in that beautiful silver and yellow, and so he's going to have to move up just a little bit. I mean, he's up in 2nd place in the playoffs right now, so he's got some room to work with, but he doesn't need to be falling back like this.
Yeah, no, he doesn't want to fall back too far, or especially to that point where the accidents have been happening. You don't want to get taken out like that. If you're going to miss it, which Josh is going to have a really bad run. Oh, Brandon Domain got really tight on the inside. Oh, big wreck down the front. Oh my goodness, that's all in front of it was Andrew Harris again. No, it wasn't. Doc
Holliday went flying.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get to the moon and take flight, because Doc Holliday was absolutely pointed to the sky, flipping through the air, things like that. Unfortunately for Doc, I got to imagine he's used every fast repair he's got so far.
And he's got Andrew Harris there on the outside. And so he's just going to, and Jeremy Duncan just comes off the corner and just kind of a glitch there from iRacing throws him into the stratosphere.
He definitely did. And Sean, that's the second time those two drivers, the exact same thing. These two guys, if we remember that huge parking lot accident, we'll see these two guys, dock to the inside, and Jeremy Duncan kind of hits the outside wall, and it's literally carbon copy of that accident earlier on.
Yeah, just really rough hit there. And let's take a look and see what happens with Jeremy Duncan as he goes sliding, and I think he's just going to pretty much park it.
Yeah, I think he's going to stop here and take the tow. Or
yeah, that truck is dead. So
I tell you what, Jonathan Beyer.
Yeah, guys, we got everybody on pit road here.
I tell you what, Jonathan Beyer, that yellow flag really helped him right there, because he doesn't have to worry about differing pit strategies. So everybody's going to come down as long as he wins this race off pit road, which it looks like he's going to. Jonathan Beyer going to be back up front, and he has definitely got the speed, man. I mean, he was over a second and a half over or in front of Michael Madden and Byron McDonald for second and third. So Jonathan Beyer, this could be his coming out party here tonight at Dover International Speedway.
And just the way that things are shaking out with pit stops, with wrecks, with all that stuff, if you look at our top 15 now, you've got 11 of our playoff drivers in that top 15.
Yep, and that's the cream rises to the top, rises to the top here. Gotta say, you see these two Bronco Motorsports cars in front of Jonathan Beyer. They're gonna get their wave around to get one of their laps back. So that's Cole Martin and Andrew Harris trying to get back on the lead lap. Andrew really needs to. Cole's obviously, he's we've said it countless times, he's safe as could be. But Andrew, man, he really desperately needs to get back on this lead lap to be able to be passing trucks for actual positions, as opposed to just kind of passing them to get around them, because obviously you're not gaining that spot if you're behind other drivers.
Yeah, Corey Saucier taking a swing here. Daniel Bowler, did he take 2 tires?
I did not get to see his particular stop, but going off of the positions he's picked up here, he about had to have taken 2 tires. He was sitting back. He gained about 5 or 6 spots there on pit road, so definitely had to have taken 2 tires or something there, Sean.
Good deal, man. I mean, taking a swing at it.
Yeah, it's almost what you kind of have to do. Reminds me, or just the fact that there's absolutely nothing to lose here besides missing the playoffs. But if you're, Corey, you've already been in a wreck. You can't afford to be back in the pack where it's happened all night long. So Corey's got to get himself out of trouble up front.
And going back up front, so Jonathan Beyer still maintains this lead. Michael Madden still up there in second. Byron McDonald, he is loving that position up towards the front, and so I don't think he's going to give that up anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. Ever since that win at Dega, he's been hungry for more. And here we are. We see him up here in the top 3 with his teammate Michael Madden, and then Jonathan in the lead of this thing, and another guy behind him who's got to be hungry to have good results. That 4 truck again. We've talked about him quite a bit. He's in the same boat as Jonathan Beyer, and he's a really strong run. He's got the misfortune of guys ahead of him in the points having tough runs tonight. So as long as Jose Cassiano stays out of trouble like these other guys so far we've seen, Sean, he's going to be it's going to be very close on points for him to advance as well.
Yeah, I mean, Jose's going to need a lot of help to get in there. But he's doing the right things right now. Being up in the top 5, I mean, that's pretty much all you can do right now besides being the leader, which is where Jonathan Beyer is. So both these drivers, Jonathan Beyer and Jose Castellanos, need incredible races, and both of them are getting it already.
Yeah, they definitely are. And Jonathan Beyer, again, another great restart here. Able to really get that bottom lane going and pull away from Michael Madden, which is going to, kind of open the door for Byron McDonald to get underneath his teammate. But, again, he kind of lifts to let Michael Madden, clear him on the outside and try to get to Jonathan Beyer. But I'll tell you what, the 66 Toyota Tundra, man, is just pulling away from the field on these restarts. and he's just, kind of setting sail and driving away from the pack. But, Michael Madden, he can go he can go and battle with the best of them. So the 15's not going to let him get away too far, I don't think.
No, I'm keyed in right now on Corey Saucier back here because, we might have something going on. We almost had 3 wide. We do have 3 wide, and then they sort it all out. Oh, that's a dangerous moment right there in front of Corey.
Yeah, it definitely is. And you could tell Corey noticing it, happening right in front of him. Really, really slowed his truck up to make sure he wasn't, right there, right behind it and getting involved in it. He checked up really, really early, being aware of what's happening. That's really good driving there by that 3 truck, who can't afford to get involved in these accidents. But up front, man, the battle's heating up for the lead. Michael Madden, closing in on Jonathan Beyer. So going to be interesting to see if Jonathan can, fend them off and keep this lead. And
we got wrecking.
35 truck in the wall. He's going to collect some more.
Oh, and that's Andrew Harris involved. Cole Martin slows down in time. Taylor Smith gets a piece of it. But Andrew Harris, that truck must be dead at this point.
Yeah, that was a hard look again for him.
Yeah, guys, he just towed.
So let's go to another wreck replay brought to you by Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia. And you're going to see they're going to come off the corner here.
And Andrew Harris just disconnected from the race, guys.
Yeah, that's going to spell the end for him tonight. He's not out of this yet, though, guys. It's only going to take a couple of these guys here to have the same kind of trouble as him later in this race, and he very well could still end up in this playoff. So he's definitely not out of the picture yet.
Yeah, that was a huge lick there. But you'll see on this replay that I think James Kerr just kind of self-inflicted this one as he comes off the corner, gets really, really loose. Yeah, and there he goes.
Yeah, absolutely. And then coming up the track, not, doing it, purposefully. He's just trying to slow the truck on the brake, and that's when you see Andrew Harris absolutely, smoke the front end of that 75, and that's kind of what ended the night for Andrew there. It's just blown the truck up, and Andrew had to left the race because I'm sure he was out of fast repairs. But up front again, man, Jonathan Beyer is trying to do it. This is, again, we keep talking about it. We might sound like a broken record, but this is every single variable for the formula to get Jonathan Beyer into the playoffs is absolutely happening right now for him. He does not need to hit the wall or get, spun out or anything like that. And I got to imagine the math is going to be in the favor of that 66 truck if he finishes, in first or top 3 or anything like that. He's just going to gain a lot of points on a lot of these guys that, he was trying to catch.
Yeah, I'm trying to do some quick math in my head here, and it's kind of hurting just a little bit. But if we've got Jonathan Beyer that just leads a lap and wins the race, that puts him at 2,077 points. And so Jack Johnson and Corey Saucier, who are on the cut line, would need 25 points each to keep him back behind him. And man, that's not that easy to do. We're talking 16th place or better.
Right, but it makes you wonder, at the end of this thing, Andrew Harris, who's left, he's shown in 23rd right now, but, there's some trucks that are behind him that are still out on the track, so he might lose, 1 or 2 more spots as he's down to 24th. So I think, because Andrew Harris is 8 above Jack Johnson and Corey, and, Beyer's 16 behind them, so he's got to have 24 points over Andrew Harris. And right now, with winning the race and the bonus points, I'm telling you, it's going to be splitting hairs at the end of this thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Andrew Harris has led a lap tonight or not, or if he led a lap before he left or not. If he finishes in the position where he is right now, which is highly likely because I think Doc Holliday's out, Tevin Whitner's out, Josh Witt's out, Michael York is out. Brad Yonkman just passed him. And so I think Andrew Harris will finish in 25th, giving him 16 points. That puts him at 2,076. If you remember, I just said if Jonathan Beyer wins this race, he's at 2,077.
Yeah, that's great math by you, man. You are just absolutely on fire with it, Sean. We showcase that off at Richmond, the final race of the regular season. And here you are back again doing it, buddy.
Bring it on, man. We love the math. It's tax season. Let's have some fun with this. But up front right now, we've got 3 Jonathan Beyer Racing and 3 Rev Racing in the top 6. And so we got a couple teams doing battle here, a couple of the top teams in the league doing battle.
And Sean, you mentioned his kind of the nickname of that 61 truck of Matt Johnson. The consistency, man. He's in 4th place right now. Started 17th. He's worked his way up through the field. So, again, man, Matt Johnson. He did this last year in Mid-South Madness in the, for season 2. He got himself into the playoffs. Slowly or silently, worked his way to the final 5. So, again, man, this dude, when it's time to go, he shows up and performs like he wants to.
Yeah, guys, you don't count Matt Johnson out. I think we counted him out several times last season, and there he was in the final 5. So this guy's never dead.
No, he's not. And again, Jonathan Beyer going to get another great restart. Going to be able to clear Michael Madden, pull away a little bit, not as much as we saw earlier on, but Matt Johnson really going to make that high side work, kind of get the run to the back bumper of Michael Madden. Going to be interesting to see if this outside works for Matt Johnson. He's going to get side by side with him at a turn 2. They're going to be door to door heading into turn 3.
Yeah, another little interesting thing to note here, only 16 cars or 16 trucks on the lead lap right now. And so there's going to be a lot of racing back there behind that in that lap traffic to try to figure out who gets the lucky dog.
Oh, Michael Madden kind of get into the apron, so Matt Johnson going to get the run off the corner out of turn 2. Clear Michael Madden, so now Jonathan Beyer's got his teammate behind him, which is best case scenario for you. You got a teammate behind you. He obviously knows the circumstances of what Jonathan needs to advance in the playoffs, so it's kind of like a little buffer to the next driver behind him in 3rd place of Michael Madden. It's just going to make it that much harder for Michael to get the lead. So Jonathan Beyer, the laps have kind of, ticked away with these yellows. We've only got 36 laps to go. And, the laps, they roll off really quick here at Dover. We got spin.
That's Cody Riggs. He got tapped.
Cody Riggs.
He got some help.
Maybe Corey Saucier got into the back of him there, guys. Yeah, Corey's coming on the radio now. Apologizing, didn't mean to get into him there.
Well, luckily it was only Cody there, because that could have been disaster for a lot of playoff drivers.
It doesn't look like Corey got too much damage on the front end either. I know he's got rear end damage on his truck, but he's had that for a while now. I think he's kind of saving that fast repair in the bank if anything crazy happens. But again, it looks like to the inside of them, and they kind of just pinch one another, and not enough real estate there for 2 trucks to make that work. And unfortunately for Cody Riggs, kind of gets the short end of the stick there as you see him spin and hit the outside wall. But for Cody, I think he's got fast repairs left, so he can use that, get a new truck. But all of our leaders right now on pit lane. So again, man, for Jonathan Beyer, it's just, falling the right way for him tonight.
Yeah, we're going to see from Cody Riggs' point of view here, he's just trucking along, no problems at all, and then all of a sudden, he gets tapped and turned.
Yeah, he definitely does, and that's just, that's how quick it happens here at Dover. These corners, Ballard alluded to it earlier on the show. I think you can agree, man. Getting into these corners and coming out of them, it's like riding a roller coaster.
Yeah, it definitely is. It's really treacherous. Personally, I'm not one that's ever got this track figured out. I seem to struggle with it, but definitely can be a very big struggle for this track. A lot of people call it a big Bristol, but it's very unique in its own right, though, with these corners, the way you dive down in the corners and drive up out of them.
Absolutely, and I think we had a driver stay out. I don't believe the 54 of Jason Cracky staying out, going to be in the lead of this thing in this 54 truck for R&D Motorsports. So, gonna throw a wrench to the plan of these guys that came down pit lane.
Yeah, interesting strategy there. What do you think about it, Bowler?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. Not sure what he's going for here. I mean, he could be running for that 2nd tier championship. getting a bonus point for that, or maybe trying to get up here and sneak a win out on these guys to, solidify his spot there. Or, but also an R&D truck. Could he be getting up there to help out his teammate Corey Saucier in any way?
Let's see if we
Corey's
can. Go ahead. Let's see if we can't get Michael Madden up here. We haven't spoken to him tonight yet. Let's see what he's thinking about this race. Hey, Michael Madden.
Wow, who?
Sean and Daniel Bowler and Jake Roell up here in the booth, buddy. How's it going?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing good. Just really quickly, because I know you're about to go 1 to green here, but you've been right up here in this top 3 pretty much this entire time. You got anything to pass Jonathan Beyer there?
I do, as long as I don't kill myself like I've been doing all night here. I think I can finally get some green laps in and catch them, but we just got to get a little green flag run. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, got to ask you real quick too, Michael. The 54 staying out, how does that make you feel, knowing you guys all came down pit lane, but there's one guy on an island who stays out on older tires?
Yeah, it just reverts back to, I think, Chicagoland or something back earlier when he did this, so... I mean, I got to think he's doing it for his teammates, so we just got to get around him. And, I'm notorious for making it 3 wide, making something happen, so stay tuned.
All right, buddy. Well, have a great
there
race.
There we go. Stacking pennies, right? We hope to speak to you after the race.
10-4. Thanks, boys.
All right, Michael Madden. And again, we saw in the truck race this past week at Dover in actual NASCAR Truck Series where somebody did take it 3 wide. I think it was Larson that took it 3 wide, and it actually turned out really well for him.
Yeah, the cup race you're talking about.
Oh, the cup race. Sorry, cup race. Sorry.
Yeah. You're good. There's a lot going on now.
There is.
With the playoffs, we're at Dover, Darlington. They both start with D, but yeah, absolutely right. Kyle Larson trying to run down the leader. Martin Truex Jr. for the lead. Had to thread the needle, go 3 wide between 2 guys that had gotten lapped. So we could very well see the same thing. If there's a guy that would do it, Michael Mann absolutely would. He's very aggressive and takes those opportunities that a lot of guys don't, or wouldn't think about doing. And it's just he's just excels at that. So we'll see here. This restart's going to be really, really interesting with the 54 on older tires. Got to hope for Jonathan Beyer he clears them, or at some point gets clear of them. Again, just kind of a slow creeping start. The 66 waiting on him. Looks like they're waiting on the green flag, and Jonathan Beyer's going to get a better restart on that outside. Going to clear the 54 when they get down into 1, and that is what you want to see for the 66 truck.
54 got down on the apron there.
Corey Saucier with a nice power move there, guys.
Oh, we got cars down the inside wall.
Yeah, a lot of they're spinning into 3 of the yellow flag. There it is.
That's Robert Yost,
Oh,
guys.
my goodness. The truck was flipping again.
I think that was Taylor Smith that flipped into the pits.
No, guys, that's Robert Yost. That's the 92 truck of Robert Yost.
Let's go back and see what happened with Mr. Robert Yost with another Sandwich Man Racing and Sports Memorabilia Rec replay.
That was reminds me of that Doc Holliday wreck where we saw the truck flip into the moon again. So you see them all the way down to the inside wall. So something was happening in front of these guys, and not sure who that red truck was.
I think that's Cody Riggs.
And again, hard flip, obviously, into the infield grass. Wow, able to clear the wall there. And at that point, I don't think he can get out of there, so he has to tow to get back to pit lane.
Oh, he can jump back out. Okay, we're good, but still, that's a hard lick, man. So this is from Robert Yost's point of view.
Yeah, this is you just see the 224 just kind of, think he was clear, I think, and kind of moved up and tried to get in front of Rob, and they weren't clear, and Rob kind of just goes along for the ride there, flipping. And unfortunately, I think fortunately, he gets back to pit lane. I believe he's got faster pair left, so the 92, able to keep his truck clean here.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, I know that Cody Riggs had a really good run there, and then you've got the 75 up top. And
I think these guys were just anticipating something happening in front of them with those trucks that were 3-4 wide in front of them, and it didn't happen. And then those guys kind of just, ran out of room again, and that's what sent Rob, crashing.
Crashing and flying, and And so still Jonathan Beyer leads this race, and just like he was saying, if he can keep on getting these restarts, he might be pretty good.
Yeah, it's this is what Jonathan needs. He just needs, yellow flag after yellow flag. We've heard Cole Martin say it, at other short tracks. That's all he was hoping for, because it just, the laps come off the board. You don't really have to do anything but ride around. So, but fortunately, Jonathan's got the pace. He's very, very quick. So, if we do see a little bit of a run here, I think it's going to be hard for guys to get around him, especially with Corey Saucier going to be on the outside. That'll open the door for Michael Madden on this restart to get to the inside of him through turns 1 and 2, and kind of let Jonathan drive away again. Like we've kind of seen. Again, the 66 man is he's doing everything he can for himself, and just hoping the math works out for him after this thing.
And that's really all you can do is just do everything you possibly can. I know he's had a bad couple of races that have kind of put him in this position, but one good race could. All you got to do is sneak in. If you can sneak into the next round, then all the points reset. And if all the points reset, then you're fresh. So if you can get this one good race, then that might be all you need in order to make a deeper run into the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's the scary thing about next round too, is we have the Circuit of the Americas Coda, the first race of the second round. So if any of these guys that sneak their way into that next round are just that much better at road courses, we could be seeing the same thing again. They sneak their way into that final 5. I think that's going to be really, really big across all 3 series. In the Xfinity series, I think about Marshall Stanley. He's been running really well, but not getting those finishes he's won. But if he he's got to be the guy to beat in Dakota. Ballard, I know you can speak on that in the Xfinity series. It's going to be tough to beat him there, but he's just going to get that much, or he's going to get so much points, more than everybody else there at Coda. It's going to be really tough to kind of close the gap on him.
Yeah, it'll definitely give him a big advantage going into them last 2 races of that round. At least gives him that buffer to where you can maybe afford to have one accident there in one of those races.
Well, man, we have got all sorts of action towards the front of this pack, as in our top 11 we have 10 of our playoff drivers. And so, like you were saying earlier, Jake, the cream rises to the top, and this is where we're at right now with Corey Saucier up front, Michael Madden up front. So those two have been going toe-to-toe all season long. And then Jonathan Beyer, who hasn't got a win yet, but he is definitely showing that he belongs there.
It definitely does. Again, on the restart, kind of going to keep Corey Saucier to his outside. These guys are going to be side by side through 1 and 2. Jonathan's got to get a good run here to keep the lead. Oh, and then that Corey Saucier saves it, though. Didn't get spun around, but definitely slowed his progress up. Michael Madden able to get by him. Fortunately, though, Corey didn't get any damage or spun out from that, and really hurt his chances on moving on, as he's still in P3.
Yeah, that's going to push him back just a little bit, but that's all right. He's got plenty of room back there, and right now, as far as the point system is concerned, I think he's going to be okay. He's got Jack Johnson behind him. He's got basically everybody else behind him except for Jonathan Beyer. But if things stay the same way they are right now, I think Corey Saucier gets in.
Yeah, I got to agree with you there. And, again, it makes you wonder. Another extra bonus point for Jonathan Beyer would be leading the most laps, which I got to imagine with how much he's been up front, the middle part of this race now to the end of it, he's got to be the guy that's going to be leading the most laps here tonight. So that adds another point to his total, in the right direction for him, as we see him kind of pulling away. He's got about a half a second lead over Michael Madden for second. And we got only 22 laps to go, so or 23, sorry. So again, it goes by really, really quick. That's all Jonathan wants to see.
Yeah, and I will tell you that we are going to try to get those points put together as quickly as possible right after this race, because I have a feeling that these points are going to be super tight on the cut line.
Oh, Corey Saucier in the wall there, guys.
Yeah, little scrape there out of 4. Don't know if he just got a little tight behind Michael Madden, or just trying to overdrive it to get to Michael Madden, make that pass. But that's what, in the mirror for the 66 truck, that's what he wants to see. The guys behind him trying to push a little hard, get aggressive with it, make mistakes themselves. And, Jonathan Beyer just kind of holding constant right here with this 0.4 of a second lead over second place. And Cole Martin here making his moves, back up to the front, got both of his laps back, and he's up to 12th place.
Yeah, what a great run by Cole Martin. 2 laps down, gets back on the lead lap. Now he's up in 12th, and he's pushing for 11th. This guy might get a top 10 out of a disaster of a race.
Yeah, and you got to imagine if we, see another yellow flag, if they come down pit lane, does he, pull the 2-tire strategy, kind of get himself back up front? It'd be pretty miraculous to see, being 2 laps down in this thing, and, you come home with the win.
Hey guys, I think if we click off 5 or 10 more laps here, I think 2 tires could be the play to get yourself the track position here late in this race.
Yeah, and up front, Jonathan Beyer is going to be lapping a truck here in the middle of 1 and 2. This is always a nerve-wracking sight when you're the leader. What way do they go? And, fortunately, Taylor Smith gets down low, lets him by, and, doesn't lose too much time for Jonathan to the guys, trying to run him down. Jonathan Beyer is really making that bottom lane work. He's, driving it exceptionally well. Again, just kind of keeping Michael Madden, at bay at about a 4/10 of a second lead.
I'm seeing these guys that are not exactly right up against the wall off the turn. They are doing better because they're not getting as much push off the wall. And so maybe half a lane down might be the play here.
Yeah, and it's very visible when we, see him come out of the corner. Michael Madden gets ever so close to, hitting that wall, but Jonathan Beyer's got, a good amount of space in between the wall and himself, so that way he's not forcing the issue. Corey Saucier going to get the apron. He's going to get really close to the outside wall out of turn 2. And that's the thing, Jonathan Beyer might not be pushing it as hard right now. He's kind of saving those tires. That way, if Michael really gets up to him, he can, force the issue for himself and start going. But Michael Madden got a heck of a run out of turn 4 there.
And gives him the
they make
nose.
contact in 1 and 2. Fortunately, saves it, though, but they're going to be side by side. That's going to open the door. Kyle Wimble going to close up on these two. That's Jonathan Beyer's teammate. Going to get right to the inside of his team owner there. He's going to lift and let him go. Got to imagine Jonathan's kind of trying to, say, listen, man, I really need as many points as possible. Don't force the issue. I don't want to get taken out or anything like that. But Michael Madden going to take the lead and try to drive away from these drivers.
Yeah, but we still got stuff going back here for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th because Corey Saucier, he needs all the points he can get too. So he's going to push the issue right now, and he's going to move into 3rd, getting in front of Jonathan Beyer here off the corner. Oh, we got some wrecking going on somewhere. I heard something.
No yellow on the track
We're still
yet.
green, Sean.
No,
No
there's
yellow.
a car stopped on the inside
That's
here.
Sean
at turn 2.
Kosher.
No yellow.
No
We're
yellow,
still
though.
green, guys.
No yellow, yep.
He jumped into the pits, so he's fine.
Man, oh man, all that action about 2 to 3 laps time. That's the beauty of Green Flag Run here at Dover. Like you said, it's like a bigger Bristol. It's just constant, nonstop action. I tell you what, Cole Martin is up to 9th place right now. He's just hoping for a yellow flag to be able to stack the field up, have another restart, and be able to grab some more spots and gain a few more positions, or even like we said. He's got nothing to lose. Pull the strategy and just kind of go for 2 tires and, try to grab a win.
Yeah, Jose Castellanos up to 4th. And so he's going to try to make a run. I mean, he's 24 points out of the cut. So this is desperation time for him. But what a great run for him tonight.
Yeah, he's trying to run these guys down. It seems to be running Corey down. Going to try to probably make the move here into 1. Got to make quick work with how fast these laps go. Only going to have 11 laps to go here. He's going to try to clear him out of turn 2. I think he's going to get it done. Corey's looking a little tight here. Don't know if that damage from hitting the wall earlier on in this run kind of tightened that truck up for that 3 truck. But Jose Castellanos, man, up to P3. We got one on the apron here out of turn 4. Not sure who that is.
That's Taylor Smith. He's just letting people go by.
There we go. Good to see that. And Jonathan Beyer under attack from the 23 of Byron McDonald. That's going to be for 5th place there. He's going to lose another spot to Vincent Cortez. So Jonathan Beyer going to fall to 7th. And then there's Cole Martin in 8th place, man. He is he's making his way to the front right now. Going to get to the back bumper of Jonathan. He's going to try to clear him here. Probably going to make it work out of 4 into 1. Man, oh man, Jonathan Beyer is just kind of falling back all of a sudden. Oh, and they make contact.
Yeah.
Jonathan Beyer up into the fence.
For the 2nd time in this stint, Jonathan Beyer sideways.
Wow, that's really unfortunate for that 66 truck.
think he's still going to be okay here, guys. He needs to keep a cool head and just get these last 8 laps ran here. I think he's still going to be okay with the troubles that Andrew Harris had, Robert Yost has had.
That's a good point. Kind of to that math point. It's gonna be very, very close.
Jose Castellanos needs a win and needs help, and he is on his way right now. He is trying to track down Michael Madden. Michael has over a half-second lead.
Guys, I think if he can win this race, guys, it's going to be really tight for him to make it in this playoffs.
It is going to be close. This is going to be really, really interesting right after this race. I'm going to try to do as much quick math as I can while maybe I'll let you guys do the interviews.
Sounds good to me, buddy. But I tell you what, Jose Castellanos was over a tenth and a half faster than Michael Madden. So he's still got 6 laps to go. He's only 4 tenths behind him. He's got plenty of time. It's just a matter you get to the guy, but what do you do to get around him? This is going to be a heck of a finish if Jose gets to the back bumper of the 15. He realizes it's winning you're in for the 4 truck, man. It kind of, at what point do you just kind of all out go for it? So we'll see if he can run him down and make do of what he's got to do to get into these playoffs, or second round of the playoffs.
I don't think it's a question of what he does with him when he gets there, Jake. I think it's when he gets there is when does he do it. I think, Jose being in the position he's in, he's going to use that front bumper.
He has no choice.
Has.
He needs those extra 3 bonus points for winning a race badly. And so second place for Jose Castellanos is not going to do it for him. He has to win this race and still get help.
Yeah, he's going to have to use that front bumper like you said, Daniel. We're coming to 3 laps to go. He's still got to get there. Kind of lost a little bit of time to Michael Madden that last lap by, so he's got to dig deep and find something here. You don't want to, not have a shot at it, so he's got to really just try to get to the back bumper of Michael and make something happen here. We're running on some lap traffic. I don't know if they're going to get to him, though, in time to kind of help Jose, but it looks like, again, another lap goes by, and, Jose is kind of stalled out, loses a tenth of Michael Madden here. So I'm not sure if he's going to get there, but if we see a yellow flag here before we get the white, that's going to change absolutely everything for these drivers, guys.
Yeah, I just don't think that Jose is going to get there in order to use that bumper. I think that Madden's pretty much got it on rails right here as we are coming to the white flag here at the Monster 125 at Dover.
Yeah, Michael Madden had to check up, make sure not to hit the outside wall out of turn 4 there. Kind of let Jose get there, but I just don't think he's got enough time. We're coming down the backstretch out of turn 2. Michael Madden's about a half a lap away from victory unless something crazy happens to him here out of turn 4. But Michael Madden going to bring that 15 truck, that sparkle and shine Ford F-150 out of turn 4. He's going to get to the finish line. He's going to win the Monster 125 at Dover. Michael Madden, man, my pick, that 15 truck, Sean Griffith, brings it home in victory lane.
Man, what a great run by him. He was kind of back in the back for a little while, then worked his way right back up front, stayed up front for the rest of the race, and then finally made that move. Used a little bit of bumper on Jonathan Beyer, but got into first place and finished it off.
Yeah, he did. And Jonathan Beyer fell back to 13th, so unfortunately for him. Man, oh man, we'll get the math done though, Daniel. We're gonna sit here and watch this 15 truck. I'm sure burn it down right here for the fans virtually. Man, oh man,
it's been a while for him, so I'm sure he is very relieved to be able to be doing some donuts here.
I know it's the start of the year he rattled off 2 wins and then a ton of second and third place finishes, but Michael Madden gets it done here at the Monster Mile, bringing it home victory lane, kind of getting back to his MO all season long, finishing in the top 5, getting wins, things like that. So great run by Michael Madden, and we're going to see him continue to burn it down with his teammates out on the track.
Yeah, and while that is going on, we are doing math as quickly as we possibly can. But once again, we're going to have to get that math to you probably right after the interviews. And so going back out there to the track, let's go through our top 20.
Definitely. And You see here, Michael Madden, obviously your winner tonight in that 15 truck for Rev Racing. Second place, Jose Castellanos, that 4 truck for Stryker Motorsports. Had a great run, just a matter of the numbers for him. Third place, Kyle Wimble, the 91 truck for Jonathan Beyer Racing. Fourth place is going to be Corey Saucier, another driver that needed a really great run in that 3 truck for R&D Motorsports. Bringing it home fifth, Byron McDonald for Rev Racing, that 23 truck.
Yeah, you got Vincent Cortez in 6th for Tank Racing. Cole Martin in 7th. Once again, I didn't really need the huge race there, but still gets a good one, so 7th place there. Brandon Domain in 8th for Stryker Motorsports. Jack Johnson in 9th for Jonathan Beyer Racing. And then Josh Mueller in 10th for Tank Racing.
And then 11th place is going to be Bobby Anderson in that 18 truck for R&D Motorsports. Mike Mosby, his teammate in the 99 for R&D, is going to come home 12th. Jonathan Beyer in the 66 for his own team coming home in 13th. Jason Crackey in the 54 truck for R&D Motorsports coming home 14th. 15th place is going to be Cody Riggs in the Rev Racing 224. 16th is going to be Matt Johnson for Jonathan Beyer Racing in the 61 truck. Rob Yost Jr., who we saw flipping earlier on in the race, going to come home 17th for Team SRN. Walt Lipicki again, another top 20 for him in that 10 truck for Tank Racing. 19th is going to be Brad Yonkman in the 93 truck for Team SRN. And rounding out the top 20 for tonight's race at Dover International Speedway is going to be the 79 truck of Jeremy Duncan for Tank Racing. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be your top 20 for tonight. But we're going to go ahead and bring up the third place finisher, Kyle Wimble, the 91 truck for Jonathan Beyer Racing, up here into the booth.
All right, and I'm going to let you guys take this interview while I do some quick math, and hopefully I'll have some answers for you. But Kyle Wimble, welcome up to the booth here with Jake Roell, Daniel Bowdler, and Kyle Wimble.
What's going on, guys?
Not too much, Kyle. We see you bringing home P3, man. You know, we in the middle of the race, kind of, just hanging out in the top 10, but you're able to bring it home P3. Kind of just, talk us through the race. Kind of what was going through your mind. Knowing you needed to get into, the top 10 to be able to advance. Knowing the points and everything like that.
Yeah, well, I put in a lot of work this week, and we had a lot of laps in, and tried to share some with the teammates, which worked out. They just had some bad circumstances happen to them, but yeah, we just try to stay patient and avoid some wrecks. Didn't have any fast repairs left, so we were just cruising. It just worked out in our favor.
Definitely, man. Yeah, I got to imagine we're doing the math, but I think the quick math of me, with the misfortunes of Andrew Harris, I definitely got to say, you were only 5 behind Jack Johnson and Corey, and then, Andrew was only 8 ahead of them, and, you finished more than 13 spots in front of Andrew Harris, so I got to imagine you move on, kind of speak volumes of, what you're looking forward to in the second round with COTA, Charlotte, and then Michigan International Speedway for that second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, COTA is going to be just keeping the truck pointed in the right direction and hope just to finish. And the rest of the tracks we're pretty good at, so hopefully we can find some speed and bring in some top 5s, top 10s, maybe in a win.
Definitely, yeah. If you keep rolling off these top 3 finishes like you did here tonight, man, you got to imagine it's going to be hard to beat, top 3s each and every week. So, but before we let you go, Kyle, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my buddy Ryan this week for sponsoring our truck with the AM soil. If you guys have any Can-Ams or anything, check him out. Thank Jonathan Beyer and the whole team. It's awesome running with these guys every week.
Well, hey, before we let you go, Kyle, I will let you know that just, again, this is unofficial, but you are in, my friend. So I've got you listed in 8th place going in. So we do have a tie on the cut line between Robert Yost and Matthew Johnson, according to my math right now. So we may have 11 guys going into the round of 10. So now we got to change all of our graphics and everything.
Well, at least one's my teammate.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, have a great night. Congratulations on a great finish.
Hey, appreciate you guys. Good win, Michael.
All right. Let's see if we can't get Jose Castellanos up here into the booth and talk to him a little bit. Unfortunately, he's not going to make it into the playoffs or into the next round of the playoffs, but still a phenomenal result for him here tonight. Let's see if we can't talk to him about it as we bring him up into the booth. Hey, Jose, this is Sean and Jake and Daniel. How's it going, buddy?
How's it going?
Man, it is good. Great race out there. Second place finish here tonight. Unfortunately, not quite enough to advance into the playoffs, but still a phenomenal evening for you.
Oh man, I'm heartbroken. Well, yeah, I left it all in the truck tonight.
Yeah, you definitely did, Jose. You know, you came home P2. It looked like you were going to be able to run down Michael Madden, but then with 5 laps to go, it kind of stalled out. And I'm sure at that point you were probably hoping for Yellow to kind of have another go at it. Kind of just let us know what your strategy, knowing you needed to kind of throw the Hail Mary at it tonight. You know, what were you thinking going into this thing?
I'm gonna push, and Brandon, he was there. He was pushing me throughout the whole race. Towards those 5 laps, I started getting really tight, and I'm still tensed up. I'm all sweaty, I left it all on the track, so I'm proud of that.
Definitely, man, and that that's all you can. At that point, obviously you felt a little bit short, but that's got to be a little calming to yourself that you did absolutely everything you could do to try to make it into that next round. Obviously the heartbreak. But before we let you go, Jose, is there anybody you'd like to thank?
I want to thank IR Bodies, my teammates, Travis for putting me on the Striker Motorsports team, and you guys for doing what you guys do.
Thanks, buddy. I got to tell you, as the original owner of Striker Motorsports and Jake Roell, one of the original teammates of Striker Motorsports, buddy, you did Striker Motorsports proud tonight. You've done them proud this entire season. So congratulations on a good season, and we'll see you right back up here next season.
Man, yeah, you will. I'll be here next season.
All right, buddy. Well, we'll see you soon, and congratulations once again on your best finish of the year.
Thank you, man. Have a good night.
All right, and now let's jump over and we will talk to our winner. So the 3rd time in victory lane, and let's pull him up into the booth right now. Michael Madden up here in the booth with Jake Roell, Daniel Bowther, and myself. Michael, 3rd win of the season, man. Congratulations.
Hey, man, thank you. Long time coming, man. I didn't think I was going to get back here the rest of the season. I've just been putting in the work and finally paid off.
Yeah, Michael, I got to say, it was getting too repeating with the stacking pennies, man. That's why going into this thing, I saw you starting off 5th place. You were my pick to win, and you pull it off. So, that's always a great thing to, see you win. And obviously, I win up here in the booth. So, it kind of looked like it was going to get away from you with Jonathan Beyer. And then, you were able to run him down on that, last restart and make the move kind of, when you got to him, kind of, what were you trying to use the bumper to get around them to get that win, or did it just kind of unfortunately make contact with one another, or just kind of what happened there?
Yeah, I like I said in the interview during the race, it's just been up and down year, and just trying to put myself in a hole, and I really put an emphasis on qualifying and just trying to start up front. I mean, I know it didn't pay off for the speeding penalty I got on pit road, but I drove my way back through the field, and I set myself up. I was getting such good runs off the corner. I was setting myself up, and I just got such a good run down the front stretch, and I knew he kind of burned his stuff up a little bit. I didn't want to get into him. I wasn't trying to. I just felt like I had enough run, and the nose was there, and I think we just kind of just connected. I might have hit the apron and moved up, or I got to go back and look at it, but I didn't mean to wreck him like that. I felt like I had the fastest car to chase him down anyways, so I wasn't looking to take him out. I hate to lose all. The playoff guys have such implications here, and I don't want to wreck someone's chances just because I want to get a win. It's not what I'm supposed to do here.
Well, speaking of the playoffs, you're moving on into the round of 10, and now all the points reset. So everybody is on even keel, and we're going into a road course. And we heard the secret from Byron McDonald a little bit earlier in the race in an interview where he said that Rev Racing has been practicing at COTA for a month. What's it like at COTA?
Yeah, it's an interesting track. I like it. When we went to Daytona, it was kind of eye-opening, but it kind of grew on me, road course racing. I told you, when I won Chicagoland, I wasn't looking forward to Daytona, but I'm kind of looking forward to COTA. We put in the work. I'm going to continue to put in the work, and it's paying off. So as long as you can keep it on track and just keep your car in one piece, you should be good. And that's bring it home and stack another penny next week, I hope.
Well, buddy,
you got to make T-shirts for that, Michael.
Yeah, exactly. Before we let you go, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to dedicate this win to my grandma. We're going through some family stuff right now. I wanted this win so bad. And I want to thank Sean and all the guys at Sparkle and Shine, Elite 3 Asphalt, American Pavement for sticking with me. I'm looking forward to this championship run in the next round, and it's gonna be exciting. Like I said, we've been putting the work of these 3 tracks, so I'm hoping we get another win next week, or at least one more time in this playoff stint here.
All right, buddy. Well, we're going to let you go this evening. Congratulations on your 3rd win of the season, 1st win of the playoffs, and congratulations and welcome to the round of 10.
Thank you, boys. Take care.
Maybe I should call it the round of 11 now because it looks like we've got a virtual tie there on the cut line with Robert Yost and Matt Johnson. So just to go through really quickly, our top 11 that are making it into the playoffs unofficially: Cole Martin, Michael Madden, Byron McDonald, Josh Mueller, Bobby Anderson, Brandon Domain, Corey Saucier, Kyle Wimble, Jack Johnson, Robert Yost, and Matthew Johnson. So the 4 drivers eliminated tonight: Andrew Harris, Jose Castellanos, Jonathan Beyer, and Nathan Nixon, all eliminated tonight.
Yeah, you ton of talent all across those 11 guys. A lot of wins, a lot of strong finishes. That's an impressive top 11. Obviously, every single week it seems, Sean, you get the bad luck of having to make new slides, change them up, man. And sure enough, now we got to make everything say round of 11. But I tell you what, next week it's going to be the first week of the second round, the playoffs round of 11. Now it's going to be that All-American 70 race at COTA, the Circuit of the Americas. So this is the Formula One track that's out in Austin, Texas. This is they've modeled this track after a lot of significant corners from different F1 circuits around the world. It's an awesome track. Balder, you and I have practiced there a ton over the last month and a half. I've been helping you out in the Xfinity car. You've been hopping in the Cup car. This is going to be very, very interesting to see in these trucks.
Yeah, it definitely is. Neither one of us have had any experience in the trucks and how they're going to handle there, but definitely going to be a unique road course for all 3 of the series to go to. So really going to be interesting for all 3 series next week. So definitely going to be ones that you want to tune into.
Yeah, and then, of course, our very next broadcast coming up tomorrow night, we're right back here at Dover for the Xfinity Series, and you're going to see Daniel Bowler do some battle out there in the Monster 150.
Yeah, tomorrow night, again, back here again, obviously at Dover for the Monster 150, the final race of the first round for our Xfinity Series. Got one of the drivers trying to make his way into it. You're on the outside looking in, Daniel. Kind of just, real quick, kind of speak volumes of what your plan is tomorrow night.
I think keep it out of the wall, man. If you look at tonight, I think it's just going to be keeping your nose clean and, try to keep it up front if you can. Pit strategy could come into play, if we get into these cautions like we did tonight. And, I just think at the end of the day, with the one less fast repair, just keep your stuff clean if you can and keep it up front and, just see where you end up at the end of the night.
Absolutely, man. And there you have it, fans. Thank you for coming out, checking us out on YouTube and Facebook. You can catch Daniel Bowler as well as our remaining Xfinity Series drivers tomorrow night, April 29th. That's 9 p.m. Central, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So check us out on our YouTube channel as well as our Facebook page. That's where you can watch the stream each and every week now for the remainder of season, the season 1 here. And at Speed Racing Network, we always remind you to go faster.